Yes!
We're
Good
in.
tempo, everybody.
Cheers.
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 Taking
a sip.
Good quarter notes. I like that.
Yeah.
like that move.
Thanks everyone for waiting for me.
Happy to be
Mandala,
here.
what is this podcast called?
Ha! This is the best part.
Fuck.
Yes.
No, why are you saying yes?
What is this podcast called?
I feel like it's like consistency or something.
Close.
Why do I know that word?
Episode 1 of consistency.
Yep.
We're in.
No!
We did.
Okay. Welcome back. It's consistently off. It's number 157.
You were really close.
You're closer than
The
most.
complete
frankly.
opposite.
No. You're
It's okay. We set everyone up at the top of the show. We do that because I think we almost got it wrong. I mean, we've gotten it wrong at least once.
It's also more fun than the podcast is.
Yeah. I'd rather do a different podcast than the one I actually do.
I think your mom didn't know.
No.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't know how to use a
I'd
phone.
say
anyway.
it's like probably 40 to 60 knowing it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the
More people
that,
don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're getting up our own asses.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you
We
so
have
much.
we have two of the members of Mandala here,
Yay.
ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being on. Thanks for making the cruise over. Great to see you again. We just
Yeah. We just met. Yeah.
now you're like a month.
September 2nd.
Oh,
Second.
dang.
Day, I like it. All right.
Well, because it was like show flyers and like,
I don't fucking remember.
and
I don't remember either,
promotions.
so good on you.
Yeah, fantastic.
You were just in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were still on island time.
I'm an island boy.
Yeah,
Boy.
fuck. That's where we met. We met a month ago.
Yeah.
A little over a month ago.
So how's your
Yeah.
month been?
Month's been good.
Pretty hectic,
We met you at
yeah.
the Peppermint Club.
Nice.
Lots happened since.
What's been going on?
Oh, yeah, there's arms on the
There
chairs.
are armrests. if
We're
you
finishing up a record as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How many tracks?
16.
Fantastic.
So we're going
Wow.
long.
We
That's
only
a
got
lot of
30.
work.
Yeah.
We put out an EP in 2019, but our last album was in 2017, which I think is the same as
Yep.
you guys, right?
So it's time, right?
Yeah.
It's
right.
long overdue.
Our
It's time,
5-year
yeah.
anniversary of
We've-
that
Aw.
record will be next month as well.
Yep. 5
Ours will
years.
be this year, this month, too.
This month.
Wow, congratulations.
It was like October 13th.
It's a bad
It was Friday the
congratulations.
13th.
Yeah.
We released records on the same day or something.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
It was meant to be. Cool.
16 tracks. When did you start tracking?
Must have been 2020.
Sometime in 2020.
Cool.
16 songs is a lot
I
of songs.
moved
I think it was like the
from
very end of
Hey, life
2020,
happened.
probably.
yeah, I moved from New York to Connecticut, like back to Connecticut where we're from, because the band I hadn't really been able to see them because they all lived in Connecticut at the time,
Gotcha.
and then I decided to stay in Connecticut even though I really didn't want to.
Right.
And we were like, well, might as well do something with all of this like frozen time,
Wait, so
basically.
does that mean you've been recording remotely? Have you been sending shit back and forth?
We were for a little while.
Hell yeah.
We like wrote some songs over Zoom and stuff.
Fuck
and
yeah.
then
That's cool.
I moved back and we kind of like I moved into the house across the street from our other guitarist.
Wow.
And at the time, Shawn was just like always either downstairs where our guitarist lived or like upstairs with a couple people we knew up there as well because it was like a 2-story apartment. And I lived across the street with my partner and a couple like childhood friends from Connecticut who were the ones that convinced me to move back home because everything had hit the fan and they were like, dude, it's mad cheap. Nothing to do. Just come back. And I was like,
It's kind of like
okay.
took over the block.
Yeah.
We like had a whole corner. Like we had a house on a corner and then another house on a corner and then we controlled like the second level of like the. Well, we didn't control it, but like we were just,
You
like,
own
No,
We
it.
had
you-
everything
no, no,
on
no,
lock.
You controlled it.
No.
You ran the stoplight.
We ran a block. Ran a little drug ring. out
We
of it.
lived in the college town, but
Yeah.
we didn't go to
You
that
said New Haven,
college.
right?
We were in New Britain
New
at
Britain,
the
which is a
time.
little bit more central.
The only town I know in Connecticut is New Haven because I've been to Toad's Place once.
Yeah.
So that's all I know about Connecticut as a state. So
As an entire.
I almost said country.
But pretty much in New Britain though, we had a house, our guitar player Abe's house at the time, and in the basement we could just kind of do whatever we wanted, and we set up our own shop like
We had
this.
shows there all the time. Like,
Fuck
we
yeah.
threw mad shows.
Throwing house shows is fun.
Basement shows.
And then across the street, I had like a garage, so we threw outdoor shows, and then we kind of transitioned into the basement. But because we didn't go to that college, the only people that patrolled were the campus police. And our house, like when you pull up the address, like it wasn't to a student, so they never came.
Yeah.
But we knew like everyone that went to that college just via people that we
Just
knew
by
from
being
the
there, yeah.
town, yeah, and
Cool.
So it
from
was just,
living
like,
in
walking across the street,
CT.
basically.
And
Fuck yeah.
our neighbors didn't give a crap because they
Full
were used
neighbors
to
helps.
that
Yeah.
because it was a college town.
Yeah.
So we just
Cool
got
neighbors
away
helps.
with a lot, and we were like, let's leave all of this and go to LA.
That's true.
Congratulations.
That is kind of true.
Sounds like you had a great, sweet setup there, but
But
We
when you're
did the
like-
record, and then we were like, all right, let's leave and hold on to this and figure it out. Because then we started mixing, I guess, remotely, because we produced it ourselves as well.
Yeah.
there you go.
Kind of with the engineer that recorded it at Faro Studios in
Yeah, we
Shout
did.
out.
Shout out.
We did the
Southington.
Faro Studios route,
Plainville.
which
Shout 'em
is their own studio out over there in Plainville.
Yeah, Plainville.
And so we were just, but like you gotta realize, like Connecticut is like everywhere is like 25 minutes, like
Right.
30
Yeah.
minutes,
It's a
like
tiny-
40
yeah,
minutes.
it's tiny.
You're,
It's-
you're
The
an
state
East
is
Coast.
this big, right?
So kinda
It's
like-
Yeah.
25 minutes
It's big,
is
right?
not 25 minutes
Yeah.
here.
No.
So, like,
No,
you
it's
know,
25 minutes, 25
Yeah, it's
miles.
actually 25 minutes.
Yeah, so like
25
somebody-
minutes here is like an
That was
hour.
Albertson's 25
I live
minutes.
25 minutes away from here. Took me about 40 minutes to get here.
Yeah, it's a long way. Yeah, but like, you know, somebody would live here, somebody would live here, somebody would live here.
Hell
The
yeah.
studio would be here. Everybody would just meet, you know, boom, boom,
Nice.
boom, boom. So it was pretty quick, and
Sweet.
we did that for a long period of time. We took our time with it because our studio guy was actually really busy a lot of the time.
Right.
And so we just tried to do as many sessions as we could and, you know, write as much music as we could. Just have as much stuff ready for the studio. We wrote a little bit in the studio too, you know, just trying different solos and different ideas.
Yeah, create magic.
Yeah,
Get some
different-
skeletons.
different vocal
get
stuff.
Some foundation.
We do a lot of our stuff live almost. Like we write it and then we play it a bunch and then we're like, this is it. And then we track what we've got and then one or a couple of us will either figure out that extra part or back home at the time we just knew a lot of other musicians, so we would bring in someone for the sax part or the horn part
Yeah,
Dude,
or
Steely
the
Dan
keys.
style.
Having session players is the fucking best.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have. We don't have anybody. We have
No,
people.
I mean we kind of do the
Fridge.
same
We
thing.
have
We don't
fridge.
do like jazz odyssey when we're
Yeah.
writing music, but we definitely like.
Oliver, we have perfectly good keyboard plugins.
That's
We
very
do.
true. We have MIDI.
We've got the plugins.
got some plugins.
They're
Yeah.
perfectly good.
We have MIDI. MIDI exists. Yeah.
But we definitely just write. We just play the song like 5 billion times.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
Yeah.
like, Craig, do you need more time? Yeah. I'm like, all right, dude, I'll keep playing this part.
Yeah.
What do you want to
yeah,
do?
so 16 tracks. How long does that take to write in a group? There's
Yeah.
5?
Five
5
people.
of you.
There's 5 of us.
Yeah.
First of
So
all, wait, fuck. No, just back up. We need band history, though,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we don't fucking know these
I'm
people.
gonna grab a
true.
pen.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys are from Connecticut.
Yeah.
There's
We're
5 of you. Are you all from Connecticut? Did
Yes.
you meet in
No.
Connecticut? No.
Technically, 4 of us that are in this band
Uh-oh.
right now are from Connecticut,
Okay.
and one of us, our bassist right now, his name is Brian.
Shut up, Brian.
Shut up,
Shout out
Brian.
Shout out
He's a
Brian.
great bass player. He
got an awesome bass.
yes, he does. He's actually trying to sell it.
On my bike.
Don't say that to Nick.
He's from out here. We met him out here
Gotcha.
because a great friend of ours from CT that was in the band with us most of the time before
Yeah.
we moved out. The whole time before we moved out here, really, was staying on the East because he plays in a couple other punk bands too. That he,
Bands.
Yeah.
Bands. Bands, Morty.
Yeah, bands. Bands, Morty.
But me and the guitarist Abe started, basically, short story, we met in high school in like 2014 maybe,
Okay.
15.
Yeah, I remember 20 fucking 4.
fucking year.
That was a good fucking
And-
year. I graduated that year.
We were like in robotics club together, and he was kind of like, we were friends, and he also got to know my mom. My mom is from Dublin, and it's kind of just like me and my mom. I have a stepfather, but it's always, for the most of my life, been me and my mom. Ireland.
Okay.
Yes.
The actual one.
Just
Yes,
check.
yes,
The
yes.
actual one.
Dublin.
Yeah,
You're like Florida. I'm like,
No.
Dublin, Connecticut.
So she owned a pub at the time, so she gave him a job and stuff. And then he was like, Morgan, there's this hot girl that works at the Zoomies. She's gonna be the singer of my new band. Will you like learn how to play the keyboard? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I wasn't really trying to be a lead singer at all. And then my mom one day was like, you know Morgan can sing, right? And he was like, no way. And then he asked me like to sing with him, and we just started writing. And then he's Arabic, and he had a really strict like past relationship with his family. And there was a point where he got kicked out, but we were still in high school. And he was staying at my house then.
Nice.
And I had like the annoying brother that I've never had, who also wanted me to like be in this band with him. And then my mom was like, go ahead, take the basement for the band room. So we just played like in my mom's basement
Shout out,
for
Mom.
4 or 5 hours,
Moms are the
like
best.
4 or 5 years
And then
straight.
they wrote like a whole album.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we kept doing the thing. We like had a bunch of friends that we started the group with in high school. We were all graduating. He's older than I, so like when he was in college, I was still in high school. But it was awesome because I was like playing all these fucking college shows.
Yeah, of
And I
course.
was like really being in a band, but then I like had to go to school the next day, and I was like going to Philadelphia on the weekends when I was 17,
Yeah, right,
but
right.
I was like
For just a weekend.
going back to Waterbury for Monday. Like
8:15 political science. You're like,
yeah, it was like
Yeah, I had to work at Sunday at 6:45
at the hardware store, yeah.
filling propane tanks at a hardware store.
That's fantastic.
Dumb stuff like that.
Don't worry,
Excellent.
Craig and I have filled
Need it.
propane tanks at the U. dude.
Need help
Yeah,
finding
sales from the
screws.
Michigan.
gotta get that pro. Gotta get that
Gotta
pro.
get that
Yeah.
pro, dude.
So propane.
And
propane.
Yeah, but I was like, so we graduated high school. People just were like, we were like I swear to God, I still don't know if there's another band in Waterbury, Connecticut right now. Like
Sure.
we were one of the only bands really at the time. Sure. But everyone else outside of Waterbury, right outside, very musical. Like you go to the woods and it's like the sickest fucking math rock bands you'll ever hear in your life out there. I
Yeah,
swear.
in Connecticut's got cool
Suburb-
stuff.
There's great
Math rock and
musicians.
suburbs music.
Yes.
Let's be real.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so met, like, me and Abe started playing just the two of us because we were like, well, we started this, like, we want to keep going, we'll figure it out. I knew I was moving to New York for college, but I still wanted to keep up with it. We got second generational members.
I'm
They,
the third drummer.
yeah.
So I'm not
Third
even.
drummer.
I'm not even in the conversation.
Not
That's
even
why-
here.
That's why she's talking only. So
No.
far.
This is good. This is good.
Got second
no.
gen members who we're still very close with.
I'm gonna
and
need to get your learning
Well,
to play
we're
and stuff.
gonna nerd out about
huh.
drums for like about an hour. So
Oh,
you're
we have
gonna-
so many drummers on the cast.
I
It's
know.
like somehow
We have more drummers than anyone else.
It's almost like a drum cast sometimes.
Ah.
Yeah,
Craig and I
which
don't
is
talk a
great.
whole lot.
Which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But anyway.
great.
But yeah, continue. Sorry.
They I don't know, people are very not actually political, but they act very political in any sense. Like they're big on cancel culture, they're big on this, they're big on that. So nothing bad happened, but just like when you're an asshole and you're 16, like people think you're an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were like, yeah, this isn't really working out with a couple people. Started doing just acoustic demos, met our guitarist now, Chris, at the time then, back in like 2016.
All right.
Started writing Cash for Smiles, which is like the previous record we put out 5 years ago. And kind of met Shawn, met our bassist who had stuck with us for the entire time up until coming here. And he...
Wait. But sorry, Drumcast. He's the third one. Who are the other two?
Yeah, who are these other
Yeah.
folks? They
So the
died?
first, our first
Strange
homie was
accident,
named
yeah.
Danny.
Yeah.
We went to high school with him. Then he knows how this went. It was very traumatic for me as a child. He was like, I remember it was like the night before homecoming, something random,
no.
something that at then like you're like, I'm
matters.
looking forward to
Yeah, that
this.
matters,
We
yeah.
played a show at this place called the Crunch House. It rained. It was like a terrible show. No one came. Random weekday. Felt that the vibes were off. Got home. And all of a sudden, like, all the drums are getting taken out of my garage. I'm like, why are you taking your stuff, bro? Like, you always leave it here. And he's like, oh, I just want to take it. And then he leaves, and then we get the text, like, I'm leaving. I don't want to play in the group anymore. I'm sorry, Danny.
That hurts.
and then our bassist,
But Father, why are you packing your luggage?
What's funny is we're so
It's
cool with
not
these
me,
people.
it's
Still
we're
to this
so
day,
cool
like,
with them
we're
now.
still, like,
And
Of
it's
course, of
all
course,
love
yeah.
because
Yeah, yeah.
it's just like, I will say that.
Hey, a shitty show can ruin a band. A shitty show. Can
Well-
yeah.
Or to someone that doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
or if you just don't want to.
That's-
it's in the end, it's better to not have him just stay there and hate
hate
his
you
life.
guys.
and
Yeah,
not
Chris
wanna do-
Anway. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding. He's a great dude. We love him. It's fine.
But then our other two members, like at the time, AJ and Pat, our bassist and our guitarist, who I'm still very close with AJ. Pat, I haven't seen you in a while, but heard you work at TD Bank.
They'll get you.
Abe still talks to everyone really. They are both amazing musicians, but they were like, oh, don't really know like what to do about this. Kind of not really into it. Gonna go to college type stuff, and we were like, totally fair. Like I'm trying to take Metro North back from New York to Connecticut to play these shows.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do that, then
yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, it was always about the
Especially when you have
music.
to lug drums.
Yeah, like anything. So that's how that went. And then we met Chris and a drummer at the time named Jake, who we're still very close with, and a bassist named Mike, who we're still very close with, who just toured with us on the East Coast when we went there in,
Yeah,
in
we still hang
August.
with all of our people.
Good.
awesome.
Well, it's good because now you have like almost like a little collective.
Dude, it's
where
crazy,
You can,
actually,
You
if
can,
you
like,
think
Every
call
time-
subs. You can call subs.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's amazing.
Every time there was like a
the Wikipedia has 5.
The
but then,
Wikipedia
the
is-
timeline is
Past,
kinda crazy.
past
love
members.
that timeline.
Past members.
its own
Yes.
page. Yeah.
Yeah, it's its own
Yeah,
page.
it's kinda
Let me
like-
wheel out my old
Timeline
scroll.
of Mandala members. Yeah.
Then one time Mike couldn't go on tour because his parents were kind of strict. We were like 17 going to Philadelphia or something. Can't go on tour. Abe knows someone that plays bass that he works with from college. Ends up being Matt. Matt ends up becoming our new bassist until further notice. Matt is childhood friends with Shawn. Shawn kind of hears. Shawn kind of like starts to fall in love with Mandala.
Right.
Hears that they're in the position of maybe needing a new member / he's someone that is willing to weasel his way in because he knows it's for the greater good.
Oh yeah. He knows what he can offer.
And he did.
Yeah,
and he did.
So this is how it starts.
The weaseling begins.
Yeah.
No, essentially, I played drums since like 8th grade, and I was playing shows in bands since 8th grade, and
Yeah.
all types of stuff.
Like, what do you mean? Eighth grade, you're just like, I
That's
need
when you
drums.
started drums?
I need drums.
No. I
What's
And
your
was
then
first
you had
instrument?
'em.
drums.
Of course.
That's it. Nothing
How old?
else. I started doing it in like 5th grade. I don't know what.
Okay, 5th grade. So, but you're in a band by 8th grade.
Yes.
Got it.
His grandfather is also pretty musical. He actually patented like an old-timey instrument from Connecticut.
There you go.
No one has not no one, but they're not produced now.
Wait, you said instrument. What, like
So it's
a
something.
called
or
the
something?
rhythm stick.
Yeah. So music.
rhythm stick.
Yeah.
So the,
It's
Wait,
usually rhythm
did I
stick.
just make the right noise? What?
No, it's basically a tennis ball. You can tell him it's your
Yeah,
it's
this
your
is
family
this is your legacy,
relic.
dude. Yeah.
No, my family's very musical. We're Irish family on my father's side, and my mother's just as musical too. And both my parents loved music, but my grandfather especially was really into it. And so growing up, he had something called a rhythm stick that he invented. My great-grandfather invented. And basically, it was a broomstick, and on the bottom of it would be a dog toy where you could bounce it almost.
Like a
but it
rubber
wouldn't make
one.
a sound. It would be like a rubber thing. And you'd wrap sleigh bells around the broomstick. You would then put a tom drum on like the first little half of the stick. You would then put a tambourine above the tom.
oh.
So it's made for buskers.
You would flip it
Yeah.
around. It would be a washboard on the back. You'd have a
Hang on, this is one of the most Irish things I've ever heard.
It kinda-
Like,
you would have a
Hey,
clown
you better-
clown horn above the tambourine.
Yeah.
And then you would have a splash cymbal on the top.
Yes.
And so you.
Fuck yeah.
So you can kind of play like jazz
That's
stuff
everything
with
you
it.
want.
Yeah.
And
Everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be.
You don't even need a
It
band.
might be from the Midwest too, dude. I know you said Connecticut, but you could be from the Midwest. I'm pretty sure it was someone that I knew had one of those.
Yeah.
But essentially, how it works is you could be playing a beat, and you just have it in your left hand. You have a brush. You play with a brush, not a drumstick or anything like that. And you go.
Yeah.
You're playing the kick drum with a hand. Yeah.
Right.
Boom.
Like in someone,
You know,
you have like a barbershop choir here, like
Yeah.
on a stick, and you're like, all right, now let me create something. Just saying, are you any good at it?
He's actually pretty decent.
I mean,
at it.
Yeah, I
just
practiced
like
a little
he
bit.
just like sang
They
it out
did
loud.
say- they did. He did just say his
did
part.
just, like-
He just showed us his part.
Yeah.
He
could record that with his mouth.
But can you
Yeah,
do?
go back and listen. Can't play it.
But can you do Moby Dick?
I don't know.
What's the longest solo you've taken on one of those? What's the longest solo?
I had
He's
like
still
a whole
playing
little,
today,
I had a
dude.
whole Instagram show with it for a second.
Yes.
So basically, I had a thing called Finbars Castle.
Whoa.
His middle name is Finbar.
My middle name is Finbar.
That's a pretty awesome name.
And so
You guys are coming hard with the Irish. That's all I'm saying.
Very Irish, the two of us.
and basically
We can put some. We
I
can
have
put some.
there's Tullamore Dew in the fridge right now.
we need some
Some
sunscreen.
Delbert, some water,
Just Lucky Charms.
We have like a smidge of Tully in the fridge. We should do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even know. I forget. I'm like lost.
Bro,
Well, you started a band.
Finbars
Oh,
Castle.
no,
Oh, yeah,
Finbar's
Finbar's
Castle.
Yeah, Finbar's
Okay,
Castle.
Yeah.
He
So,
said Tullamore Dew. Everyone's like whiskey, right?
Well, the only reason I say that is because I'm in.
so yeah, I just got bored, and every Sunday starting in 2021, I would do Finbar's Castle. I would go live on Instagram
Nice.
on Sunday, and
With
then
a
I would
special guest.
with a special
He
guest,
just
a
started
musician from
pulling
Connecticut.
musicians from Connecticut. He'd be like, "Do you want to do an episode?"
Fucking
And they were
rad.
great.
Yeah.
You do an episode, you post it. At the end, you do like a drum solo. People would throw snowballs in the house.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Anything we could, like, we just to
we
make
had-
it
we-
fun.
We'd put like 2 drum sets together, and we'd do like a
Hey,
double drum
content
set.
is content, baby. That's,
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
That's
We would put a hockey helmet on and jump
He'd
down. a
throw
flight of
himself down the
stairs.
stairs like jackass.
Oh my
Like, he
God.
did not care.
Tear gas while
I
you
think
do
we
your
pied him
rhythm
one
stick
time.
solo.
but oh my god! But oh my.
Carolina Reaper
Going
challenge.
back to the rhythm stick. Yeah, no, it was just a place to where you could showcase it for.
Well, yeah.
something.
I did send you down the drum spiral. I know. I did it
I mean, whatever.
semi-consciously.
It just
But-
sounds awesome for, just like he said,
Hey, it's just good.
busking, dude.
Yeah. It's
if you're someone, if
fucking.
you're someone
You
that
said
just
you
wants
do
to
a lot of
perform.
acoustic gigs. You just fucking bust one of those.
Yeah, you can try
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you mean you could try it? It's like what it's made for, dude.
no, that's exactly what it's made
Yeah.
for. But yeah, essentially, I mean, that's like in my blood. That's in my family,
yeah.
kind of stuff. Like,
Mhm.
and my grandfather would kind of teach me that stuff, and it just at least the rhythms just boom, ba, boom,
Yeah.
ba, boom, ba.
Count. Learn to count.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Learn to count, and
Yeah.
so. My parents are really into music. They always had albums around and CDs and all
All right.
types of stuff, 90s music.
We got there naturally. What's the first album you guys bought with your own money?
Yeah, I think
With
mine
your
was
own
Britney
money.
Spears.
Mine's Blink-182 and Backstreet Boys at the same time.
Mine was
First
I
album you ever bought?
It's a tie between.
It's a tie. Did you buy them at the same time?
Yeah. Same
Sort of.
purchase.
What's the first purchase you ever? What first thing you ever bought?
It was either Angles by the Strokes
Okay,
Or-
that's a sick album.
or I'm With You by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't know either.
2011.
I know both of those bands.
2011 releases. That's the
Okay.
year that I got
so
into music. Maybe.
terrible.
I don't know.
They're not
I know
terrible.
both
I
of those
love
bands.
them.
I don't know either of those albums. What are the singles from those albums?
Undercover of Darkness. Take It for a Fool.
Okay. Wow, these are deep cut albums.
I
You're
like
a deep
this
cut
one.
guy. I can tell us about you, Shawn. That's what I like about you, Shawn.
Welcome to episode 1 of Deep Cut.
Nope. I can tell we're gonna get along great because I'm also a deep cut guy. What about you?
I want to
Don't
say.
be shy. We just told you ours.
I know. I want to
I said
say.
Britney Spears.
Well, my first memory of I was obsessed with. I was a YouTube kid, so my first memory of my favorite thing ever was a Paula Abdul music video.
Okay.
But I believe the first records I bought
It
were
doesn't have to be record. It could be CD.
Yeah, CD.
like,
cassette.
yeah, I think it was
Buying music.
3 Cheers for 5 Years by Mayday Parade.
Okay.
Or like
A girl after my own heart.
Yeah.
or
Oliver likes you more
I'm a
now.
pop punk boy, yeah.
yeah, I was very into pop punk. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Never Shout Never, like a very early record.
just
Some
did
there.
spit
I was very into a lot of bands like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, MySpace was
Whatever.
a good time. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's good answers. Yeah.
dude, I love Warped Tour, so I just
Yeah, I
I
was a
just
big
We already
Warped Tour
talked about
kid.
this, but did you see they released the lineup for
Of course
next
they
year?
did.
Yeah,
You think they're ever going to
Of course
stop?
I did.
No, it's every year from now. Yeah.
Yeah, I went for like
It's the new
played one of the
Coachella.
Warped Tours.
It's the new Coachella.
We did
played
play
of
one
the
of-
Warped Tour.
We did
They did
too.
too. I never
Fuck
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
I went to
for
it.
like 14 years straight. My first one was when Jimmy World released Bleed American, and I got their fucking EP off of their van. They were just handing them out.
Nice.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah,
I love that album.
that's when I first started. That's also when I fell in love with Less Than Jake.
There you go.
Less Than Jake's shit.
Who doesn't? That's your
Yeah.
Instagram handle.
It is. It's my email too. Still,
Yeah,
dude.
still is.
Never
To this day.
changed,
No, never.
Never changed.
Ska will never die.
dude.
Well, fuck. Those are good answers. So
Yeah.
you still haven't answered the question. How did you join these fellows?
He weaseled his way in, dude.
You just
Yeah.
kind of you kind of
They
showed up
called
one
him the
day.
Weasel?
Sort of. My friend Matt, who had started my first band with together, played with him for years, and
Oh, this is a good angle of the story.
This is his side of this.
Well, because we were touring with Matt, and they were in a band together, and I'm under the impression that Shawn was like, what's this fucking band? Going on tour, like, with my boy. Like, why don't we tour? Like, why don't we do that?
yeah, exactly. I really wanted that. I really wanted that kind of thing, and I checked out their album Valley People that was out,
Okay.
and I just fell in love with the album. I thought it was like the coolest rock music I'd heard. I was like, this band is like literally the next town over from me, and I've never heard of them. I've been playing music like all through high school and never heard of this band. And
We did not mark our class.
songs like Marb Reds, Clockwise, It's Better This Time, I'm Not Mad
Nice.
Because You Left, Don't Pretend, Alone, Valley People. Love
Whole
those
record.
songs that
Yeah,
I'm not
the entire
on.
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole album. I'm
Yeah.
not on it, but I fucking love every track on it.
Good.
And basically became obsessed with this band all
Sure.
of a sudden.
Sure.
And it was July of 2016, and basically would listen to every out track and like take notes about how I could maybe like improve the drums, maybe.
Dude, this guy Steve
and, like,
Vitamin.
Yeah,
you Keith
dude.
Mooned yourself into the
and,
band.
and it was no disrespect to Danny because every track is pretty awesome.
No,
Like,
I,
But you
I
also-
respect
you
the
guys
shit out of
were
this. This
in
is
high
great.
school.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like these kids
Yeah.
were literally
Dude.
17, 18
Yeah.
years old. It was like it's great.
Fuck yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
record, and so I was just like, God, it'd be so awesome if I joined this band. So I was on vacation in Rhode Island, and then I got back. He got back from tour, and I was like, dude, you gotta tell me about it. And he was like, oh, it was great, but like, you know, the band is kind of like in this weird kind of dysfunctional state where
Yeah, she said it was in a lull. It was
in this
yeah.
kind of, but and it's no
Yeah.
disrespect
We just didn't
to
have
anybody
anyone
else,
that didn't
but,
want to
like,
break up with us. Like, we were like,
It's-
what's
it
wrong
really
with
comes-
us?
Being in a band, it really comes down to dedication. You know what I mean?
It's
a
a
lot of the time.
marriage.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
getting along too.
Yeah.
man.
It's
And
about
just,
being
like-
friends first.
But for me, it's
Yeah.
just like a love for the music. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
like, and like Mandala for me, I just like had this epiphany one day where I was
What does
just like,
Mandala mean to you, Shawn?
It just means like I don't know. It just means good music. It means my life. It means just happy times for me personally and everybody else and everybody that comes to our shows and the records we make together. It's just a positive force. So I
Cool.
just recognized it as like this is some of the best music I've heard from a local act. I would love
Yeah.
to join this band, and so
And I am indeed local.
I kind of weaseled my way in and
Yes.
got an audition basically, and I was playing in a reggae band at the time,
Sweet.
and was
Opening
playing
for Bad
I
Fish
was
at
opening
Toad's
for
There you
Bad
go.
Fish, the Sublime cover band.
Yeah.
And
I have a guy touring with Sublime with Roan. One of my buddies is playing keyboards with him right now or something.
Thanks
Hell
so much.
yeah.
And yeah, we would like be direct support for that group at Toad's Place. I'd be like 19. I was a freshman in
Fucking
college.
love Toad's Place, dude.
And yeah,
we need
just
more Toad's Places.
do that
in the
thing.
world.
But then when I joined Mandala, it was more of just like all right, these people like really take it seriously. The record is great, and like we just have like a great
The rest is history.
solid history with me and Matt.
We were
I saw the
in the
pieces, too.
beginning process of starting our second record, and we were tracking it acoustically, and he kind of came to my house where we were tracking them in the basement, and he was like, "This is like the new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on this."
Yeah, no, there's a song that we
You know
have.
you can put drums over these songs, right? Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, no, there was a song we have called Only in the Fall, and there's an acoustic version that they had originally made. It was basically the demo tapes for the Cash for Smiles album that we put out.
Cool.
And I was there for Morgan's vocal takes, and so I had known the whole album before, and I had never
Yeah.
heard anything of the new stuff that was coming out that I might possibly be on.
Right.
And so I heard this song Only in the Fall, and it's like one of my favorite chorus hooks. And so I was just like, oh my God. Like, I was like, showed up, and they were like, hold on one second. Like, we're going to do this take real quick, and we'll talk to you in 1 sec.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then there was just like, only, you know, it was just like the whole chorus. And I was just like, wow, that's such a great hook. And can't wait to be on that if I hopefully could. And so basically just said, hey, listen, like, I'm like, no joke. Like, I want to be in a band.
I actually mean this.
I actually mean this. I want to be in a band. And
Yeah.
I really take music seriously, and I really respect it, and I want to like be a part of like a team effort, and like, you know, just like create our own thing and create our own world and have a great time and create good records, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
and
course.
play really intense shows. And so that's what we decided to do, and they let me join, and
They
had
said
all-
yes.
we had all this new music.
You
like,
proposed to the band.
songs like Washed Up, Motel Lobby, David Brown. They had been around for a while, but then we just put the right pieces together, and it was like bang. There was just like this whole nother energy to it that nobody had heard before from Mandala. And
So
people,
wait,
people
quick
respected
clarification. Did you know? You said Matt's the bass player, right? Did I get that right?
Matt Rosano.
Previously, yeah.
Okay. Wait. Then who's the current guy then?
Brian?
So you know Brian from way back,
No.
No.
or did I get that back?
Brian is somebody that we met in California.
Oh,
We're
that's
still-
right.
we're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
back
in
You knew-
Connecticut.
So you knew Matt.
Yeah.
Yep.
You knew Matt for a long while.
Yes, I had known
So did,
Matt.
okay, then my question does make sense. Did you know Matt already? Was he already in the band at this point, or
He was in the band at this point,
okay?
but
And then you showed up.
Yeah, he had taken the place of somebody that couldn't go on tour.
Got it,
And
got
then
it, okay.
the drummer at the time went on that tour, and then. it
Okay,
just-
no. I was just getting the
No worries.
chronology straight.
Yeah, I know it's a
okay.
Yep.
long one.
Yeah. No. It all makes sense now.
And then,
It gets even messier.
Bands.
Because then Chris, his father ended up passing away in a pretty bad accident, and it was kind of like the end of when you get like your like enough college done. Like he had done all his gen eds early and cheap, like a smart person in Connecticut, and he was kind of like, "Listen, I really just don't think I can be in Connecticut right now,
Sure.
and I want to go to NYFA, like the New York Film Academy in LA. I got accepted, and we were like, follow your fucking dreams, man.
Yeah.
Go do your
Yeah,
thing.
Please do that.
So he moved out here a couple years ago. We ended up meeting another guitarist named Pat, who is an amazing player, one of the best players I've ever met to this
Literally.
day. He showed the same passion that we all had for the music, and he played with us for a little while, and then that didn't end up working out just due to like life happening and
Sure.
stuff like that. And then we had a super fan that I had known for a couple years named Michael Baz, who ended up being
same
I
kind
don't
of thing
know.
like me,
it
where
was
he
like
was like a super fan. He was like loved to be in the band.
we like
but-
needed a guitar player and knew he shredded anyways because he had another band that he started basically with like Mandala's the inspo for wanting to start that because he was a couple years younger than us at the time, and then just ended up working out where we were like, do you want to play with us because we're in CT and we're trying to
Already
rock.
here. Yeah.
And he's also one of the best players I've ever met, and he kept playing with us
And
all
so we
through the
started
past
like writing
2
music with
years.
all these different people and touring
It's
with
like
all
a
these different
odd
people.
collective,
and
really,
making all
Mandala
these EPs
is.
and singles and records. That's
Yeah, like
coming
we
out
wrote a
recently.
Christmas song with Pat, and like Michael's on our new album that we're putting out. He does like one of my favorite solos we've got, really. And
Matt is all
Matt
over the record
plays the
that we
whole
have
bass-
now, but
yeah.
Brian
The
plays with us
2-year-old
live
one.
going
Yeah.
forward, essentially, and
Got
recording
it,
as
got it.
well.
and Brian's on like the new stuff we're putting out too. That's
Gotcha.
like stuff we
So
recorded
when did-
here.
When did Brian come then?
Honestly, probably 9-10 months ago now. Like
Okay.
we met him
So he's fairly new.
we have only been living in Los Angeles for 13 months.
Nice.
This all makes sense.
Newbie.
I got in my car to drive across I got in my 2001 Lincoln LS
Fuck yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, you do.
Great car.
with everything I owned and started driving to California after never having been here
Connecticut, which is
from
very far
Connecticut,
away.
like
Love this.
the middle of August,
yeah.
like second week.
That's what I'm talking
Never
about.
turned
Funny 'cause
back.
we got an apartment before we went and looked and moved out there. We just were like, this apartment's cheap. All right,
have
let's
one.
move.
We bought it. Yeah.
We got an Airbnb because we knew we wouldn't have jobs, so we rented an Airbnb for a month in Culver City and then drove across the country and took a couple stops and then stayed at the Airbnb for what ended up
love
being
those
like
balls.
2 months.
Yeah.
Found jobs, got an apartment.
That's it.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Chase that dragon, baby.
No.
That's hilarious.
So what was the initial spark for all of that then?
It had been talk for a while. Honestly, many people were like, it's fucking Yellow Brick Road. Like, it's LA.
Yeah.
People will love you, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And then everything shut down. And I think I didn't see it before everything shut down, but I think that it hit LA pretty hard. Like,
Oh god.
COVID did.
Oh god.
Oh, you mean planet Earth? That's yeah.
Yeah, but like
yeah.
in New York bounced back.
They
LA
actually
to
followed
me
the rules.
from being in the hustle and bustle of the East Coast, like everything here is congested. No one's like really looking for something to do. They kind of know their people. They know what they're going to do. People got even more lackadaisical than I assume you guys already were out
That's
here.
the same pre-COVID, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
That's the same pre-COVID.
The only real lasting change is masks. That's kind of.
I think,
Yeah.
well, and more bums.
No,
Yeah.
the perception
Tense.
of the
Yeah.
West
More
Coast,
tense, few
the
more
West
tense.
Coast speed. East Coast speed just has more about it. There's actually more vibrant of an energy in general. So
Everything's closer together.
so the musicians, the music scene, all that, people are just playing shows to play shows.
to
to
play
play
more,
shows.
there's a
Yeah.
lot more house shows on the East Coast.
Yeah.
than there are.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
But even like the,
House shows that matter, I should say.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's our own doing, but stuff that we run into out here. All right, you've got to pay to play this club.
Right.
Or maybe you're playing
Yeah,
this
yeah,
lineup
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
Bullshit.
whatever, the lineup is crap.
Yeah,
or
we
like,
all
hi,
know
my
that.
name is
We all
Morgan.
know that.
This is my band.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very singer-songwritery.
Yeah,
It's
you're
very...
not gonna like it. Can we play
Or how
it?
about
yeah.
everyone-
We're about to be really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone comes, and then their fans come and watch just them.
Yeah,
and
and then
then
leave, yeah.
they get off stage and they just leave.
Oh man.
And then
In-
all their fans are gone. And then you have, oh, there's my 15 fans. And then they leave. And then the
So-
15 new fans come in for the
yeah,
next
it's
band.
such a rotation. It's
This
at
whole
like-
thing comes full circle.
we do that in the East too, but we're like, we didn't leave. We are literally in the parking lot smoking cigarettes
Sure.
and weed. Like,
Sure,
that's
no,
it, you know? Like, we didn't leave. We're just outside.
Okay, then I can't wait to ask this then.
Yeah.
So on a band human personal level, give us your unfiltered like
He's killing
base
it.
level experience of September 2nd. What
Oh.
Tell us how that show went for
Fuck
you
that show,
guys.
yeah,
Tell us about that show for you guys.
It's a cool show.
I mean,
No, don't lie. Tell us how that show went.
Well, can I get your answers first?
No, you can't. No.
No.
We'll tell you after. We'll tell you after. We'll tell you after.
I'll tell you mine.
We'll tell you after.
Tell me
Wait,
yours.
I'll tell you my fun one.
We met you guys,
this-
so
This doesn't hurt anyone's feelings.
yeah.
So we were told, yeah,
We're not burning any bridges.
you get 2 drink tickets. Everyone gets 2 drink
Oh,
tickets.
that's right.
That's a good
So
one. That's a good
after,
I didn't get a drink.
oh,
You guys didn't
well,
get the tickets?
whoever the hell
Did
you
booked it
keep
for
them
us
all?
did.
We brought our own drinks.
Yeah, I mean that was like
Maxed out.
But they were like, you just gotta talk. We got there right before we played, and they're like, just talk to the manager. He's right there. And I was like, all right, well, we're gonna sound check, so I'll fucking talk to him in a minute. Get off, and I'm like, oh look, this. And I walk towards him. He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, I'll get him next time.
He was elusive.
Yeah. So the end of the night comes, and we try to get him. He leaves, and I was like, fuck. So I go up to one of the people working there. And I was like, hey man, can I speak to the manager? We're supposed to just get a couple drink tickets, so I want to get my fucking bar
just drink
tabs wiped,
tickets.
Yeah,
bro.
it's just drinking. We
all it
already
is.
opened
So-
the tab. We already had drunk
The
the
guy-
drinks. Yeah.
Goes into the manager's office, comes back out, and he's like, hey, the manager says to send your manager. And I was like, well, I am the manager.
Yeah.
We don't have one.
We don't have one.
I just six. There's 3 of us. So
The bar
6
manager-
drink
Hi, I'm here to represent.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
venue manager needs the film speed manager.
Yeah.
So he goes, one second, let me go talk to the manager. Cool. He comes back to me after being gone a while. He goes, dude, I can't find the manager. I was like, who's the fucking guy you were just talking to? Twice.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, let me go try to find him. Then he walks this way. I was like,
This is
what
to
the
get
fuck?
drink tickets?
Yeah.
This is
drink.
yeah.
It's just drink
So-
tickets.
It's just drink
He
tickets.
comes back. He's like, I don't know, man. And I was like, I get it. You're just working for that fucking guy. This is bullshit. And he's
Yeah.
just like, and he just walks away.
It's in my Live Nation contract.
I just,
That's right.
yeah.
Oh, you already answered the question.
I read the
Yeah,
email,
yeah.
man. I
It's
read
so-
the email.
You already answered the question.
I just went up to the bartender. I was like, hey, man, your manager just said we can just wipe my bill.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know where the drink tickets
Yeah,
are. And
customer
he's
calls,
like,
right, yeah.
the guy's like, all right, cool. He just
Oh,
like,
dope.
Nice.
Give
I
your
was
card
like, here's
back,
a $25
Sounds
tip
like
for
one
you,
good
bro.
person in that whole thing.
Yeah, here's the tab we would have paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Funny.
It's like
But
fucking,
that's-
we
it's
were
drink
drinking
tickets.
like fucking canned beer.
Yeah.
It's like we're drinking like
Drink tickets.
It's just beers. It's just
Yeah.
drink tickets.
doubles on
LA,
the rock
man.
or something.
LA,
You know?
baby.
Yeah.
LA.
So that's my fun experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The show was awesome. The bands were all good.
Yeah, everyone.
You guys rocked. So like,
I'm talking
loved
on
it.
a human level. I know everyone played well. Everyone was great. I know the show was amazing. I want to know about your experience with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you our experience.
Yeah.
So, basically, it was an optimistic day for the show, and everybody was kind of hyped about it.
Had you played a show in a while?
I'm trying to think. It might have been a little bit of time.
We had just gotten back from tour.
Oh, we had just gotten back from tour, so it had been like a 2-week gap
Yeah.
since we had gotten back from tour. So we were gonna play our first LA show again, and the thing is that it was on a Friday, so everybody couldn't make sound check, and you know it was just like
Yeah,
you know,
the-
and then we
we
missed
all
sound
work-
check, and
amorphous
then-
We
concept
all
of
work
a sound
day
check,
jobs
yeah.
that are like get off at 5, so I could totally be there for maybe like 6:30 straight out of work.
Right.
Didn't go home. Equipment's in my car already. Got my clothes, whatever. But they were very
adamant.
uninformative, in my
Yeah.
They
opinion.
were not very communicative.
they flipped our time from last to first. The
All I'm gonna
day
say-
before.
Is it took me 3 tries to pick up those tickets from
Live Nation.
Carolyn at Live Nation.
Live Nation tickets.
They were like, "Do you want to pick these up in person?" I'm like, "Dope. Let me go to the Live Nation office. Like, we don't have a manager. We do everything ourselves too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I am the person, and
yeah.
I'll show up. I actually work like 10 minutes down the road, so I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I go because they're up our butts about these tickets. Email them. I was like, hey, we're all out of state. We were on tour, so we couldn't pick them up when they were emailing us. We were like, hey, we're back. Gonna pick them up tomorrow. Gonna pick them up today. Hey, she's coming today. Morgan is coming today. Lead singer's coming today. Show
You
up.
have to physically meet with a Live Nation.
Lovely girl at the desk comes to the glass doors of this giant office building.
Giant building.
It's all made of glass, too. She's like, hi, I'm here to
throw
see
rocks.
Carolyn, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you have to wait here. You're not allowed to come inside. So I'm waiting outside.
In the lobby.
No, not in the
Outside.
lobby.
Oh,
outside.
fucking
On
street.
the
Looking.
sidewalk. Like
Looking
on
at
the
the lobby.
steps. Looking at the inside of the lobby where the desk is.
Because it's all glass.
Yes. They wouldn't let you in. So I'm like,
Shit.
I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, like, my name is Morgan. I'm from Mandala. I need tickets for September 2nd for Poe the Passenger's album release show, like, at the Peppermint Club. Any information.
Shout out Poe the Passenger. Great
Yes.
band,
So,
great
yeah,
band.
we love you guys. Yep.
And she's like, okay, Carolyn's not here. Let me try and call her. Carolyn doesn't know of any bands for this information. Can you come back? I'm really sorry. Yeah, sure. That's fine. So I leave. I come back like the next day or something like that. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, hey, like, Carolyn hasn't left them for me yet or something obscene. And I'm like, okay, still waiting outside. Still the same girl. She knows me at this point from the one interaction.
Yeah, she saw you the day before.
Yeah, she's like,
right?
hey,
Yeah.
girl, how's it going?
Yeah.
So you started bringing a tent.
Yeah. So then finally, all they needed was like they email us being like, "Is Morgan the lead singer of your group that's coming to pick up the tickets?" And we were like, "Yes." And they were like, "Okay, like, can she come between this and this on this day?" And I was like, "Yeah, I will be there waiting on
For
the
the third
steps
time.
Yeah.
for the tickets." Yeah.
It's like
And
never
then
do
all
this back home.
all my girl did at the front desk was be like, "Oh, hey, Morgan," and hand me the pile of tickets. Like, all they had to do was bring the pile of tickets down from the office to
Yeah,
the front desk
they were already
with a
there.
sticky note to give to me that I had to sign. That was it.
Well, you see, the first time you went, the paper wasn't even pressed yet.
Yeah.
You see,
They didn't even know the tickets
The trees hadn't been cut.
Yeah.
So that was the experience leading up. And then we got there, and the bouncer won't let me in.
What?
And the bouncer's like, sorry, we didn't even know about tonight. Everything
that's true.
has not been going on the way it should. No one told us this event was happening. Live Nation doesn't have a list for us. There is nothing prepared for this show.
Whoa.
You need to wait right here because I'm not ready to put you inside yet. I'm like, okay, I'm on
That
right
didn't
about
happen
now. You had just gone in. He was like literally the people in front of us. And then they were like,
Wait, you got in?
yeah, they were like, stop.
got in?
Because I was with my partner and like one other person, and they were like, stop. And I was like, I'm in the
Weaseled
band.
dude.
And like they're my merch people, whatever. It doesn't
It's the
matter.
smile. It's
Yeah,
the smile.
it is.
And then I stood there for, I'm not kidding you, like 10 minutes.
Come on.
What?
And then was let inside. And I was like, I'm in the band. I'm not even going to pull up a ticket for you right now. I'm just walking inside.
Strange.
So
Wait,
that was how that went
What
for
time
me.
was that though?
Yeah, what time's that at?
Yeah, because what time did you guys get there?
It must have been
Because-
right
I
after
I
you-
loaded in, but it was like
You
probably
loaded
around
in,
7,
but
maybe.
it must have been, yeah.
So we were already in the fucking building.
Yeah,
so
we
was
did-
the other bands.
Yes.
We were looking for drink tickets already.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
already last
It
about
was
the drink
probably my
tickets.
second time seeing that guy.
Yeah.
So no one knew.
Dude.
That's why we couldn't get any drink tickets. No one knew the show.
They didn't
Yeah,
even
the
know
show
that
didn't
show was
exist. I
happening.
don't think the show existed.
It was like
Did we even do
forgotten
anything
about.
that night? What the
Dude.
fuck?
Oh, so you know what?
Great.
That's great.
The booking
It's
agent
no one's
for the
fault.
tour that we were supposed to be on with Poe.
Yeah, were you guys gonna
Oh,
do
that's
dates
right.
with Poe?
Were you
Oh.
guys?
We
my
were also gonna do
So you guys know that
Oh, I
guy.
love
That
you
guy
guys so
like
much.
was in a truck and he was like living in his truck or something.
I don't know.
Something happened.
No idea.
So
LA.
everything fell through. So I'm wondering if that show was ever really confirmed.
Oh,
We were-
wow.
We just
looking
all
forward-
showed up.
We were
looking
down to
forward
do
to doing
Salt Lake City, Denver,
Yeah.
Colorado.
We were gonna do the North.
Yeah, we were gonna do the coast up.
That would have been perfect. 'Cause
Yeah.
we would have filled in for like all like the middle shit. You guys would have went all the way up.
We probably
there.
would have switched spots.
Probably, yeah.
Deadass.
Shout out Poe the Passenger.
Shout out, Poe. We
Yeah, I
love you
mean
guys.
it sucks
Yeah.
for them because they were
No, of
that was their
course, it's not
CD
their
release
fault.
tour.
Yeah.
Like
Great new record. They should definitely
Yeah, the record's
tour
good.
on.
Yeah.
The record sounds
They
great.
should definitely tour on that. Well,
Yeah, I hope they still
that's
find
hilarious. So you got fucking stuck outside and you're
love
in
this.
the band.
Yeah.
They don't.
okay, so like you've been out here
they
for
didn't
like
even ask us.
All right, you answered
walked
like
in.
that sufficiently answers my question about
Yeah.
that night. You don't.
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
a year and a half here in the pit.
Only
you know what I
13
mean?
months.
Yeah.
What's the best place you've favorite place you played at? What's shown you the most?
Yeah. Good question.
Because it seems like it's
what's the
still
best show you
early
played?
here, and there are so many
Oh
rooms.
yeah, this is a good one.
There's so many rooms, and
I
there
like this
are.
place.
Dude, there-
Oh, I
varying
mean, there's a
degrees.
lot of places we haven't played.
Yeah.
Where's
That
the
I-
favorite place you
Yeah,
have?
where's the favorite place you have played?
I fuck with the Viper Room.
Okay.
Viper.
I died in the Viper Room.
It's about to
Yeah.
change hands, by the way, so it's gonna
Oh.
get demolished.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah,
know.
we know all about it. No, I just
I
like
didn't hear about that.
I just like there
Oh,
because it's just like the energy. There's like an energy there. It's just like they have the curtain.
Dude,
pull
they
the
are-
It's a
curtain.
cool stage.
They
And you-
are an exact
you fucking hit it.
change coin machine.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are,
yeah.
They know
Yeah.
I'll
exactly.
take
It's
them
just
over the
like-
whiskey any day.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
It-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take
dude.
them over the whiskey.
I like
any
the
day.
green room too. Is like in the middle of the room, so you
It's a
can watch
shame.
the stage.
It's a shame.
Yeah, you
it's
can
gonna
see
go
the
away.
fucking stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
sick.
it's one of the best rooms that LA
Love it.
has, so it's a shame.
Yeah.
No, I like that one, but we like any house party too. We'll
I'm
take
trying to
that.
think, like,
You guys are East Coasters.
setup wise,
Who treated you the best?
Connecticut.
no. Setup wise,
Fair
I don't.
enough.
I
Yeah.
didn't mind. Like we played like Venice West,
Venice West, yeah, that's like. down
and
by
it
the-
was kind of just like a big room with a brick wall.
Cool.
And that was your and like a stage, and the brick wall was back. I just like didn't mind like a big room where there was just like a bar,
Sure.
and if you wanted to talk, like you could stand in the back. Then if you
Yeah.
wanted to watch, you're either like sitting or standing.
Probably like doubles art galleries and stuff like that too. Like
It's
big
like a
space,
restaurant too,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they
What's
just kind of like
great-
push all the tables back and do like
Gotcha.
less
Where
seating.
is this place?
It's in Venice.
Down in Venice.
What's
In-
crazy
in-
Yeah.
is
Warehousey?
it's a spot like where like they do
Looking.
more reggae
Okay.
acts, like
Cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they do like the agrolites there.
Cool. Okay.
They had
Fair
a
enough.
dope green room.
Sweet.
You guys should definitely get into wine country because they'll pay you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Temecula is like 90 minutes away,
Yeah, I mean,
and
we
they'll
need to
pay
We'd
you.
eat that up.
They'll pay you
Need,
well.
we'd eat that up
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And then like the people that retire out there, we're talking like old money types.
Yeah.
You know,
People
where they're
with
like,
money.
I can only find a summer house on the golf course. Nothing by the coast, I suppose. This is fine.
And you just like
Yes,
learn
I know.
top 40s hits and they're just in love.
Yeah.
Learn some
Something
little
like
bit of country.
Yeah, we're funny. We don't do a ton of covers.
Good.
Really.
Good.
Yeah,
Avoid it.
it's better
Yeah,
that
don't
way.
do as don't. Yeah.
I think we maybe know 3 covers.
Oh.
We just
I don't think we know a single cover where every single member of the band knows it
Knows
enough
it.
to say
Oh, yeah.
yes confidently.
oh.
That's a good policy.
We-
I
I
like
mean,
that.
I bring like a binder with me, or we have ultimate guitar tabs on our phone.
Yeah,
I
they
just
have-
I just
they-
hit play. And
Yeah.
bring it.
We're just sight reading.
Yeah.
And I count to 4.
Well, Craig,
Shawn-
Craig knows a shitload.
Brian's
I
a bass
could do
major
that.
from USC, so he knows like every song under the sun.
Right.
Or can just like figure it out real quick.
Yeah.
Shawn has just a very extensive like personal musical interest history, so he knows a lot of songs as well from all
Drummers tend to
genres
have
and
that
all
kind of
years.
fucking
He's one of
database.
those guys that'll be like,
Drummers can also
"Yep,
count to 4.
that record came out in 1972, and that single was so and so." Like,
I get,
Deep cut guy.
Yeah.
deep
Well, it's just
cuts,
like the
dude.
more you listen to music, the more you learn it, and if you can move your hands the way you can hear it, then
If you can
Then
count
you're
to
doing
4.
but I'm more of
it's all
a
about the soul.
of
too,
a like,
you
yeah, I know
soul.
like the radio top 40, or like I
Yeah.
know what I
That's
like,
him. That's that one.
but I maybe don't know every classic rock song
Oh,
that
yeah.
you know.
No, it's good. Wine Country will still teach you guys,
Yeah,
treat
yeah,
you guys
we'll
to a
love
good
that.
time because your vibe just will fit.
Yeah, especially if
their
you
ness,
do
right?
wine rooms.
Yeah, yeah,
Go out
yeah.
there
Like
and do what you
wine
do, they'll love
Aries,
it.
like outdoor, like huge
Yeah.
patios, like overlooking the vineyard and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they do well.
Yeah, most of our touring experience around here though is just mainly like Hollywood clubs,
Mhm.
random
It's a
one-offs
racket,
in
man.
Venice, some
Hustle.
some house shows essentially, and
Did you
some
move
like
directly to Oh no, you said Culver City. Culver
Yep.
City. Was
Yeah,
that the
Culver.
first place?
Yep,
Okay.
Culver
Yeah.
City, then
just
straight
that
to Van
month?
Nuys.
That was the
Just that one
It was
month.
like a
Just that
month, and then we were like, "Hey, can we keep staying here for a couple more weeks?" And they were like, "Sure, pay
Nice.
us."
no,
And
it was
we were
2
like,
months.
"Here's some
yeah,
money."
It was 2 months essentially, and then
Nice.
He was also let's talk about that. Shawn didn't drive out here. He was finishing up loose ends at work. So I drove myself with my partner, but my partner at the time, she's from Philadelphia, so she's like a city girl. She never
In
needed
the
her
01
license.
Lincoln LS.
Yes.
Yes.
But I
Great
drove
car.
the whole way.
Ah.
I drove
How many stops did you take?
3,000 miles.
Yeah, how long
Yeah,
did this
yeah.
trip take?
5 days.
Wow,
Okay.
you're
It's
not
booking
bad.
it.
Yeah,
Booking
yeah.
We
it.
did Ohio, Missouri, Oklahoma City,
Oh, the boring one.
New Mexico, Arizona. All the boring ones. All the boring
You were just
ones.
stopping to sleep. That's all. You
That's
were doing.
all we were
Essentially,
doing.
yeah.
No
You're like-
sightseeing along the
You're
way.
like,
yeah.
ah.
We did the Grand Canyon the last
All
day
right.
before we got into
Okay,
LA.
all
That
right,
was
all right.
dope.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
5 days is fast. That's
He
pretty
was at
cool.
home, like
tying up loose ends.
tying up loose
Tying up
ends.
them loose ends.
And
baby.
then he just boop, hopped
my
on a
fucking
plane
life.
over here. But we had gotten a 2-bedroom Airbnb because he was like, "Oh, I'm not really gonna be out there for the first half of it." But we also couldn't really find anything that we could afford.
5 members committed to filling a 2-bedroom.
No, so technically it was myself and Abe.
Okay.
And Abe came out here with his partner, and I came out here just for the drive with my partner
Did
at
he
the
go before
time.
you?
Gotcha.
We
it's
took
4
two
people in
separate
the
cars
house.
at
To
the
the
same
same place.
time.
Got it.
Yeah.
A 2-bedroom
We-
Airbnb.
But
and
Shawn
then
is
I
sleeping on
showed
the
up.
couch and in the closet and on the floor.
Oh, closet dude. That's
I
what I'm
like
You would
Yeah.
you would know that Sean was home, but he obviously
Couch
isn't
man
in
or
your
what?
room because you're in your room, and he's not in the living room. But that's the only
Wait, how
place he
many
could
bedrooms are
be.
in
But
this
there was kind
apartment?
of like a really big closet
2.
right there in the
Where were
living
you
room.
sleeping?
He'd be in the closet.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the closet?
I was sleeping
Sometimes.
in the closet sometimes,
Okay.
See, you
and I
came
was
out of the
sleeping.
closet a lot.
And I was sleeping on the couch, and basically, but like the day I moved to Los Angeles on a Sunday, flew out here, and then like Monday I went to work remotely in a
You already
closet.
had your.
In the closet.
in a closet, so
In your-
like they had no idea kind of what was going on.
They didn't even know you were in California.
No, they knew They were like, okay, go to California.
I had
I
a
was like,
box
sounds good.
from. I bought
Yeah.
like a Mac desktop from someone on Facebook Marketplace for like
I had a hotspot
200
on my
bucks.
phone.
yeah. We didn't even really have Wi-Fi, and like
Fantastic.
he was using the box as a desk.
Yeah.
The tower of the computer.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
A computer as a computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
Ingenuity.
So no, we just did stuff like that for a little while.
Straight to Van Nuys. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
but yeah, we were living next to like a bridge, and we were living in Culver City, so it's
I know
nice in
what-
Culver
what were
City,
your
honestly.
cross streets?
What was that?
I couldn't even tell you.
I
You know,
know.
it doesn't-
Oh, no. We lived on.
Let's get
We
real
lived
deep
on.
baseball about LA. Yeah.
We lived on Bagley,
I know Bagley.
right near a
I know where
CVS.
Bagley is, yeah.
The only way I can describe Culver City is like the freeway exit to any city.
Literally, we lived right next to the freeway exit, and
Culver City is the
so
freeway exit.
this
Yeah.
this dude like
It's not a
starts
city.
coming to our door, and like I start seeing him more often. He's always wearing like fashion, like leather holster, like he's got like parachute pants on. He's giving me like a specific vibe, and one day I'm talking to him, and I'm like, "What do you do? Like, why are you my property manager, but you look like this?"
How do you own this building? Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm Alligator Jesus." And I go, "Okay, cool." And I pretend to know what that is.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
But then
Doesn't matter.
move on. Alligator Jesus is actually like this very, very famous jewelry maker. That's who he is. He makes
Shout out Alligator
grills and a bunch of different type of jewelry. He did all of like Lil Nas's
He's
stuff.
like the grills guy.
He is the grills guy these days,
All right.
especially in LA. He does like everyone's.
Madonna
and
was just on Tonight's Show like 2 weeks ago. She was
Yes.
probably wearing his.
I got a gaff girl from him because I was like, "Dude, can I get one?" He's like, "Totally, come to the showroom." It's like, "This is cool."
Shout out Alligator Jesus.
Yeah, and then we like did that. We were staying like,
Alligator Jesus.
in
Clarify
his-
This
that, by the
episode
way.
sponsored by.
Alligator Jesus.
and we're just living at this random Airbnb that he so happened to property manage, and then we wanted a
diversifies.
3-bedroom.
Yeah.
We wanted
Yeah.
a band house.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we found this. It's an ADU, so it's like a back house.
Okay.
So we kind of like this,
Yeah.
and we used to be their garage. They renovated it to a 3-bedroom, like
Oh,
2 bath.
people were living in this space before we
Yeah.
flipped it.
Oh,
We kicked
yeah.
him out.
Yeah, that's true. This wall. No, seriously. When I
Yeah.
bought this house, this wall went all the way to the garage doors, and there was a bedroom in this half.
Yeah, this was
Wow.
all
We-
converted
We
to, yeah.
destroyed
But
this
we
place
ripped- yeah,
and
we
then put it
tore it
back
down, yeah.
together.
It's awesome in here.
Thank
as
you.
is,
Thank
yeah.
Thanks.
So you wanted a 3-bedroom, but
But so we found this 3-bedroom. We were like, cool, let's
Very
do
nice.
it. We moved in. Neighbors hate us.
Um,
Cops called.
like day
Neighborhood
one,
Association voted us
day
out.
one.
what?
And I
There's
was
an
like,
HOA.
Yeah.
yeah. And
And they
like,
There's your
hate
mistake.
us.
and I'm
There's
playing
your
like with
mistake
like
right there.
brushes.
How am I supposed to know? They
No,
didn't tell us.
No.
It's like, boys, come on.
Of course, of course.
Boys.
We had like amps and stuff. Don't
Yeah,
get
well,
me
you guys were
wrong.
just- you guys were just doing something.
Yeah, and it
We were
wasn't
just
like
playing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
And it
sure it
wasn't
sounded
even
like a
like it was
large
in-
speaker was playing.
yeah.
Because then the cops, boop boop, like they don't
Is this during the day?
siren
no this-
during the day, at night, the evening, like
but
sun
it,
setting.
But it wasn't. But it wasn't
Yeah.
like. It wasn't like. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, it didn't.
No,
it
It's
didn't
all
matter.
before 9 p.m.
Like,
it
doesn't
Guaranteed
matter. Like,
before 9 p.m.
If you
'Cause
guys are making noise, boop, boop, you
Yeah.
heard it.
So
Yeah.
we
gotta
live
call our
all the
noise
way down the
disturbance.
driveway, so we have the upper hand of kind of seeing them as they arrive. And Shawn plays facing the window, so we stop.
Yeah.
And then I'm always for some
I
reason
like this.
the
Cops coming.
yep.
In the middle of a verse.
Sort of, yeah.
I'm always the
Stop, guys. Let's stop on this chorus. Stop on the chorus.
I'm always the spokesperson. If we get in trouble somewhere or someone starts yelling at us, we try to go busk in Venice and we took someone's spot. Who do they yell at? Me. I've got 6'7" Shawn next to me. Who are they yelling at? Me. They're talking to me. They're looking right in my eyes. They don't want no one else but me. So I'm always talking to the cops. So first time I'm like, okay, like sorry, we'll stop. But the point being, they get to the door and they go, we got a complaint for loud music.
Yeah.
Ordinance, blah, blah.
And we go, yeah, here's our
This is what
the
we're doing.
window isn't
Yeah, yeah.
open, but the blinds are open. And I'm like, yeah, we're a band. Like, we live here and we're just jamming,
The
kind of
cops don't give
practicing
a
right now.
shit. Like literally.
And they go,
really
oh, like we honestly couldn't like hear anything when we pulled up,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it must be like one of your immediate neighbors
That's
right
your neck-
here.
So
Yeah.
you know that's the problem is because
Yeah.
now you know who it is.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
We know.
We
who it
know.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's because the windows are so far away, you know.
Yeah,
that,
the
you know,
houses, the yards are
It's
just,
just
so
a
vast.
space in between houses. You guys
know.
are that loud, you
Yeah.
know.
I know.
They said if you have anyone within like a 50-foot distance of your house, they legally can call at any time during the day. There is no noise ordinance in Van Nuys. This is specifically what the
Van
cop
Nuys
said.
has- you have 3 neighbors in 50 feet.
Like, that's what I said. I was like,
Which one?
50
Yeah, yeah.
feet, I got
Yeah.
3 houses, like, in front, behind, and to the left. And
Yeah.
and I don't complain when their dogs are outside at 6 o'clock in the morning, like, barking up a storm. Where we're from, like, at least where I'm from, some parts of the city are not that safe. You can't let your dog outside barking like that. People will kill it. You cannot do that. Like, it's just not neighborly. Yeah, like, people
That's a
get...
gunshot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so out here, I'm like,
You won't hear
whoa.
barking all of a sudden. You'll hear our pop, and then it's quiet.
No, Van Nuys will just send out
Don't
their
listen to
dog.
him, Poppy.
Never.
Asleep. She doesn't-
Van Nuys will just send their dog into the back to bark at that dog. So now you have 2 dogs going on.
Poppy.
Yeah. And like, we don't have a driveway, so, and there's street parking all up and down the street. There's a bar at the end of the road. Street's always full of people from the bar.
Beautiful Van Nuys,
Sean,
California. ladies
for
and
some
gentlemen.
reason, gives the
Van.
impression I own 5 beater cars. I own 5 shitty cars.
Cool.
You should think I own all of them, because all of our neighbors will go, "This your car?" to all of our cars from our household. But like, they're not all his. And they'll be like, one's red, one's white, one's gold,
same
one's
person
a
will ask
brand
you,
new
yeah.
one. Yeah, and they'll be like, "This your car?" It's always, I can't put out my garbage cans. It's always in the wrong spot.
This is the Verizon van. This is not my car.
It's the street parking. Also, garbage day is in 5 days. I don't know why you're
That's not
freaking
even
out on
street
me.
sweeping day.
And then
What
Shawn
happens
comes
then?
inside and he'll be like, "Yeah, neighbor complained about your car. You're parking it incorrectly for them."
Parked wrong, yeah.
Well, they'll
Coach
always come
Haney.
over to me, and I mean, I'm waiting for the day. So I'm waiting for one more person to say something, because we're kind of almost out of this spot soon. I'll be like, fucking blow me. How about that?
You're gonna burn the bridge when you're out.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Where are you guys headed to next?
Yeah, where you guys
No idea.
No idea.
But you have plans.
We're on the lam.
Okay.
We're on the lamb.
You're on the hunt. Ah.
Wait, so but you said 16 songs. How far along are you?
Oh, for the new album?
Yeah.
They're
No,
done.
They're done.
Done? Okay.
They're done.
Okay.
We listened to the whole album. all
We
the way
actually
here.
did, like,
A
so
car check.
on the East Coast, the record is mixed, mastered, and pressed on CD already.
Fantastic.
We did a whole East Coast tour and sold like 100 physical copies of the record
Yeah.
just to like get it in the hands of people that
why isn't
actually
it out?
give a fuck.
So
Yeah, so
basically,
Because we suck
yeah, we're
at planning things.
That's not true.
Because
Oh,
we like are very good at being like, made this, spent a lot of time and hard work on it, here it is, and then we disappear. And we're not good at pushing things, and
It's
we're
been
not
5
good.
years. Just put it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if we just put it out, it'll wither away
They wanna
into
have-
the
they
past.
wanna-
You want to do it right.
They want to put out and
Yeah.
then like show grind.
I get it.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Right
Cause
now-
You want to already have the tour booked.
well,
I,
not, well, not
at
even
least some
that.
shows, but we want to like, I don't know what I want, honestly.
You want to have the right publicity for it.
Yeah.
You want to have the right playlisting
So you don't have a
for it. You
release
want to have
strategy yet.
no, we do. We're doing it right now. So
Okay,
you're in.
basically-
This is what's currently happening.
Yeah.
You're in
This
it.
is my idea.
You're in
So
the
what's-
thick of it now.
So the first, what we did is
We're dropping we put an EP out. Those 5 songs are on this record, but the record is kind of like in a different order
Got
than
it.
those 5 songs
Sure.
that were
Did you
put
redo
out.
the songs, or it's just those?
Just those
Okay,
songs
okay,
again,
Okay.
which is kind of like just something
It's just
that
the
we
preview of the album.
yeah.
Okay, great.
But
this.
you know, you still get
It buys you a lot of time.
11 new songs.
Yeah.
And as a fan,
whole
I'd be
nother
pretty damn
album.
happy
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And that buys
Better
you a
than
lot
like
of,
5
It's still
new
a new
songs.
album. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's also, we didn't intend for it to be a listen all the way through, but we kind of ended up making it that way. And we definitely took a way bigger role in producing it ourselves. So we ended up being able to have a lot of fun with it while also trying to like want to impress people with the sounds that
Yeah,
we made.
totally.
Yeah.
Because you're tracking it yourself, you're micing it yourselves, all that stuff, right?
No, that was the studio that we worked with.
Okay.
No,
But-
she makes it sound like we like put the mics everywhere. It was
No,
No,
but you're
no.
producing it. Like
we just wrote everything.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
wrote
But you
everything.
Made the choices, though.
We made the choices.
Yeah.
We did every call, for every plugin you could think
Yeah.
of, for any additional
It's so
whatever.
important because LA doesn't actually necessarily have that same workflow in making records, right? Sometimes it's like a factory where people are coming in.
Tell me how you feel about this statement. Someone recently said to me, "You have to earn putting out an album these days." People aren't. People want. I know people want singles and EPs, but someone literally said you have to earn putting out an album in order for people to.
I heard the same thing in a different way. Just the other day.
It's very frustrating
I was
to hear.
recording a single for like a 16-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
He plays all the instruments. Who does that, right? 16, killer, right? So he comes in and he cuts a single. And I said, well, how many great songs? How many songs you got? He's like, well, I got like 5 or 6. I'm like, cool. I mean, do you feel, I mean, like one day for one single is great, but like a couple days and then like all 5, you could crush
A lot of songs.
you know, like half a day for drums.
Yeah.
You already got your drums for 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 5 songs. So he said, well, I feel like you need like more of a following for an EP, so I just want to do singles for now.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That was
You
his
need to
opinion.
have more of a following in order to put out an album.
That's what he said.
Otherwise, it's to waste. Oh,
I mean,
my
according to who?
God.
Yeah, according to fucking who?
Thank you.
Who the fuck
I-
says that?
And that's been like,
I'm over that shit.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
no one has a fucking answer.
Oh my
no one
God.
has an answer.
Honestly, if you can't stomach an album,
Get the fuck out.
I don't really care if you can't stomach my album. Like,
I can agree with that,
That's what I'm
Morgan.
saying.
I can agree
You
with
can't
that.
invest half an hour into something? Oh, Jesus.
I'm doing music for me, and if you don't
Yeah.
want the whole album, fucking good for
Then
you.
take
yeah,
the single.
I don't
We'll
care.
release the
That's
single.
what
Take the
streaming
single.
is for. You didn't have to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the
You gave
single.
me 0.05 cents.
Yeah.
You get 0.05?
I don't even know. Yeah, 0.0001.
Hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Is that 1 RPM? That's 1 RPM.
Oh my god.
Well, okay, what about music videos? Because, right, the space video?
God.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
yeah,
a-
yeah.
Come on,
So
guys.
luckily,
Right?
Abe and Chris both do film as their other
Ah.
lively
Yeah.
Yeah,
passions.
because you were talking about New York film, so like there's that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
tie-in.
Chris is more of a screenwriter, director type of vibe. He's very into the classics like Martin Scorsese, like
Yeah.
So
stuff
your
like that.
narrative is covered,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And Abe is very like
Just very creative.
he's very creative. He's one of those just like not musical child prodigies like, oh, they can play the violin at 5 years
They're
old,
just a
but
prodigy.
one of those
Yeah,
teach
yeah.
yourself prodigies.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he just knows anything that he like can put his mind to, he'll figure it out somehow. So he's great at
Figured it.
editing, Photoshop, color grading, like all that stuff. And he just in the past couple years really like graduated in that, and then moving out here kind of put his foot forward in the right direction of what everyone is using or doing or adhering to. So he just knows what he's doing, and that can hinder you when you're making your own groups creative things, because it's almost like, well, this is what I know, but what do we want, and
Yeah.
is what I know and what I love separate, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of questions that go into it.
Yeah. Like, when you asked earlier, like, are we going to mix the record ourselves? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's exactly that. It's exactly that. If you give it
Yeah.
to someone else, they're like, I am a mixer.
Yes.
I will
mix-
do
I
this.
mix
This is
records.
what
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go,
Yeah.
less.
Left
You
or
know,
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I totally get
Yeah.
it.
But you're also
Totally.
you're stuck in that same thing that producers produce things their way.
Yeah.
So like you have to find who's doing their way, your way.
Right.
Yeah.
But to have a creative force that's doing visual, it's great, because
Yeah.
visuals.
What a
like,
blessing.
Yeah,
lucky.
we're
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
lucky.
I
for
hate
that.
we are.
Because
we suck at it. So,
I'm- I can make something like not the sloppy way, but like the incorrect way. Like I can edit something, or I can track something, or I can make a demo, but it's definitely not the right way, or maybe 100%. But Abe or Chris can then take said thing and polish it off, which
Yeah,
is like all of us polish each other off in like certain ways.
Whoa!
That was bad.
Whoa there.
Whoa!
Whoa there.
Take that one out. Clip that one. Everybody clip that one.
That's just good.
Well, it's like I don't play many instruments. I
Yeah,
play
yeah.
like ukulele and guitar,
Sure,
but I
yeah.
also
Yeah.
have
First
taught
instrument.
myself.
What was the first instrument you picked up?
Yeah.
It was the recorder.
Hot cross Right? Like, what grade?
And, like the first grade.
grade.
And
Yeah.
the wooden spoons. Because my
Wooden
mom is Irish.
Irish.
Oh, and like it was a
take these
recorder
wooden
and like a
spoons.
tin flute. You know, like the
And the tin-
tin
Yeah,
pan
yeah.
flute. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Now
yes,
pay
yes.
my grandmother's lament to me.
The tin
And then
flute.
you're,
Yep.
no way, that's great. Well, how, like super young, right? Like just
Oh
handed,
yeah, like the first or second grade.
right,
Like
spoons.
yep, easy.
Yeah, no, for me it was just all drums, and I just played in any band I could. Like I played in my friend's dad's like Irish band before. I've played in reggae
On a rhythm
bands.
stick?
On a rhythm stick, on
Yeah.
just a snare drum. I'll play in Latin bands, jazz
Did you ever do
bands.
marching band?
Never did marching band.
Me
Did the
neither.
jazz
That's one of
band.
my
Did
biggest
I
the
did
regrets.
marching band.
You regret
didn't,
it?
You didn't miss
Yeah.
anything, dude.
Jazz,
I have a jazz degree, but I wish I'd taken some marching bands.
I love that. It's like I have a jazz degree, but I really wish I would.
Yeah.
No, you have a
Look,
jazz degree. You're
I know.
good, man.
You do love
Grass
camp.
is
You
greener.
do love
really wish I
camp,
had a
though.
snare
I
degree.
do love
No.
Travis Barker. So,
Dude.
Yeah.
But you love camp, so like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I remember about marching band is like going to camp and just drilling with my
yeah, the
marching
discipline.
band for 2 months.
The record
What made you
discipline.
want to pick up the drum kit?
When did you first start playing the drum kit?
I just like I said, my parents always were playing music.
They already had
Did
one.
you
there a
already
drum
have?
set
Yeah,
at
what
your
was your
house?
first? We're getting into drumland.
I basically begged to have
You
a
just-
drum
I was
set.
born with them, dude.
And I didn't get it until I was in like 8th grade. Yeah.
Whoa!
All right.
Okay.
So I was playing drums in 5th grade for
Christmas,
like
birthday, what they do?
I would be like, "Come on, give me a drum set." And they just
What was
nothing.
it? What was it?
It was a Tama, or no, it wasn't a Tama. It was a CB.
CB.
CB drum kit. It was like a beginner kit that was really cheap. That's because like I wanted it. I think I might have pitched some money into it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Use that allowance.
yeah, like literally, like it fucking
Broke the
was-
piggy bank.
But no, I like my parents were like didn't. I don't. It's not that they just my parents like love to
They
listen
love
to music.
but they're not
But
musicians.
they don't want. They have no.
Yeah.
They don't understand anything about what it's like to be a musician.
What it
so-
takes
or
to-
what it's like
yeah.
to even have the feeling to want to play it. Like they don't want to play it.
Yeah.
They just want to listen to it. So
Sure.
I have the feeling to want to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
this.
So then
shit.
the
Yeah.
first band you joined on drum kit.
Yes.
8th grade.
Yes. 8th grade, we're a band called Gray Negative.
Great.
Fuck yeah.
Whoa!
That was the first band I was ever in.
Wow.
And
Was it as hard as it sounds?
we did a lot of like sick covers, and we did a lot of like awesome
What was
stuff.
the vein like?
We did anything from like Joe Bonamassa to like
Jesus.
we did like Led Zeppelin songs, Rage Against the Machine, Jimi Hendrix, like any like song.
Wait, you said
That was not the direction I was going
Yes.
to go.
Like,
8th grade? We're covering Joe
Joe
Bonamassa.
That was an interesting.
No,
first
literally,
band.
like I found nobody in my high school wanted to play music. I wanted to play music, and my buddy
Yeah.
Gavin, who lives out here in California, wanted to play music.
He
And
lives here now?
Yeah, he lives out here.
Okay.
Not with us, but in the area.
I smell a
It's-
sixth
yeah.
member.
Yeah.
He actually
He's played some
plays
shows with
keys
us.
on our newest record.
And he's
we
on
were
our-
like,
and
we
he's on
need,
our album. Like I said,
we were
we're
like,
just
we need
taking
synth,
people.
and he was like, I got you.
And yeah,
Like
so we all like are just homies with everybody, and
Oliver, you played triangle on
Yeah, I did some claps for
The
you.
kazoo.
but he basically introduced me to 2 other members, which was Matt Rosano, the member of Mandala later down the line that got me into this band. So Matt was in the first band with me in 8th
Wow.
grade. And there was another
Wow.
person named Alex Fumo that lives out here currently
With Gavin.
Gavin.
And
Dude,
used to
you're just
mix
saying
and
parallel
master
trains
some of
with
our.
people from
And
Connecticut?
Alex Fumo mixed and mastered our album Cash for Smiles. And he mixed and mastered our album Damsel in Defense.
Yeah, he did.
And yeah.
Do you guys
so-
know
Alright,
Alex Vincent from?
Yeah. Do you know any of these people?
Alex Vincent.
I know
Alex
what you
Vincent
I know
and
what you guys
and
need
Matt
now.
Hayes
You
is
need like
both
one of those like star maps that are circles but only strips. And then you can like spin them around like this year matches up with these people. It's like, yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, yeah, I just grew up like just we became friends, me and my friends in 8th grade, and we were the only 4 kids that I knew in my entire school that wanted to play music, and so we would just get together at each other's house every day, and we would just play for like 4 hours like every day.
Hell yeah.
And we
Sweet.
would
And you
light
just learn.
strings on fire and lay them across the road and wait for cars to drive.
That's
part of,
band.
that's being in a band. What are you talking? Yeah.
Hendrix did that every time. Dude.
Yeah. What are you talking?
No,
That's
you
part
have
of
it
being
wrong.
in a band.
What?
Yeah.
I have it wrong.
You have
It's
the-
not a string.
It's not a string. It's the road in general.
Oh
just set the road on
yeah.
fire?
Just the road on
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Some lighter fluid.
No, basically, like we would like play for like
Allegedly.
we would play for like 3 hours, take like an hour
Allegedly.
break, and me and my friends would just go into the woods and we'd throw like frisbees at cars, and, and
You know, punk rock band. thing.
not even like it was just like we just wanted to do that.
Punk rock.
But yeah, but and yeah, so no, back in the day.
not punk rock.
I don't
Specifically, just
con-
anarchy, but
Yeah.
not punk rock.
I
Definitely not
don't
punk.
condone any of this, but anymore, I guess. But at the time, yeah, no, we used to steal like gasoline from our parents and put it in a water bottle, and then we would wait till it was pitch black outside, and there would be like a long straight road that we'd like hide in the bushes from, and this old man had died recently and this house was vacant.
What?
And so basically we used to hide on this like giant property, and so there would be this long road, and then so we would basically have 4 people, and basically we'd have to start with 2 people on one side and two people on the other side, and one person would be a lookout for a car coming down the road.
Yeah.
One person would be somebody with the
It's not
water
gonna end
bottle,
well.
and then they'd say, "Hey, a car's coming. Let's hit it."
Yeah.
And so somebody else would spray gasoline across the entire road, and then another person from the other side would light a match, hit that shit, and then the car would come flying down the street, and then we'd just all book it into the woods, and then like a car, like literally just imagine driving down the road like
and
just
then
a
a wall
small
of fire.
town, and then just a wall of fire across that you're approaching. And like we didn't do it like
You made his night.
we didn't do it like where it was a thing where like we'd do it and they'd like like it wasn't like
They could see it coming.
yeah, they could see it coming. Yeah. And yeah, it was just like we do all
How
types
often do
of-
they stop or drive through?
Yeah.
I've seen people. Most people stopped and were like scared to death.
Yeah.
Most people stop to wait for it to go down. And then,
Yeah.
Am I wrong that you did it to someone you knew one time?
No. Basically, another thing that we used to do is we used to take 2 soda cans,
Oh, see?
2 soda cans,
Keep going.
and we
Another
take
thing we used to do.
we take fishing line, and we take 2 soda cans. We put 2 soda cans with fishing line across the road,
Oh no.
and a car would catch it, and it would sound like their muffler broke.
Clunk, clunk,
sure.
clunk,
Like,
You newlywed them.
people
Yeah,
would get out of the cars and be like, "What the fuck are these cans?" And they just lose their fucking mind. And then, so we did that. So like we snuck out. We had band practice at my house one time, and my mom was like, "Hey, like I'll take you guys to like the pool or whatever after band practice, and like your sister's having a lesson. You guys can have pizza later." And like, okay, I'm gonna leave for like an hour and a half to go to work or something like that. I don't know what the hell's going on, but and then we were like, okay, and then we like left and we're like doing the cans trick in my neighborhood basically. We did it to like 3-4
The
different
can
cars.
stick. Yeah.
The-
yeah.
yeah, the
And,
can-
and it doesn't
Can
Yeah.
routine.
and it,
Can
do-
bit.
and it doesn't work every time, you know. Sometimes it gets and you have to fix it, and you know.
There's a science.
Do it lower.
Yeah.
A science and an art.
Exactly. There is an arch to it,
Yeah.
and so basically, so we're doing it, and we're like, all right, last one, and we're like, all right, this one's perfect, and we're like, here it comes, and all of a sudden, it's my mom's mini blue van,
Yes.
and she fucking hits it, and we're hiding in a tennis court parking lot right next to my house, and like, and it's just like an abandoned like tennis court. It's like, and we're hiding in the trenches of these like, of this like river, but, so she doesn't see us basically. And she fucking hits the cans, does like like skirts into the parking lot, lays on the horn, doesn't know where we are, but knows we're in
Someone's
the woods,
there,
and
yeah.
Knows it's us.
and knows it's us. And she like we were like, don't move, don't move, like don't
She'll
show
never
yourself.
Don't take
know.
the bait.
Yeah.
Don't take the
show
bait.
yeah. And so she basically lost her mind, drove away with the cans on the van to pick
mom.
picked my sister up from her swim lesson with the cans on the van.
Good mom.
Called me on my like track phone and was like, everybody get out of the house. And, like she was like,
All your friends.
all your friends
Go
pack
home.
your fucking shit up. and like I'm gonna fucking murder you. Like when I get home, and was like screaming over the phone and was just like, yeah, tell everybody to call their fucking moms. And it's over.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
that the whole day that you thought you were gonna have, it's
yeah.
over. Yeah, like and yeah, we just used to do dumb stuff like that. And so yeah, I got into music, like kind of like doing stuff like that. And then I like, you know,
Perfect.
That really taught me a lot about the drums.
Just hanging out, like listening to Black Sabbath in the woods, and like just kind of chilling. And yeah, then we were like, we got into like reggae
Classic
music and stuff
origin
like
story.
that. And yeah, so like when everybody graduated high school and wanted to go be in college and stuff, like one of my members from that band went to Budapest, Hungary. Another kid went to Chicago, and me and Matt were left to be in Connecticut.
Sure.
I went to school in New Haven, Connecticut. I lived there for like 4 or 5 years.
And so the obvious choice was, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I joined a reggae band with my
Yeah.
like cousin, and my cousin was really into reggae and played in a lot of stuff like that, and opened up for the Dirty Heads back
There
in
you
the
go.
day, and like,
Hey.
stuff like that. And so he wanted to start a band, but everybody was like 28, but I was like 19.
Right.
And so like I said, we would play like at Toad's place, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sick ass show, and it'd be like 300-400 people, and then I just like couldn't even drink.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you have to leave the venue.
So I had experience like playing shows like all my life, and then like I said, it was just like I just saw an opportunity for like a new kind of direction for me that I was
Best.
looking for,
Yeah.
and
Hell yeah.
I was like, this band is kick ass. The music is amazing. It's like the exact type of music I want to play. I'm like older than these people. Like, where do these kids come from? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, so I'm just like, it's an amazing energy that it gives me, and I just thought I could put a little bit of my imprint on it, but not only that, but like let my buddy that I grew up playing music with
Yeah.
also do it with me as the rhythm section.
Team rhythm.
And have team rhythm from literally blood brother team rhythm musicianship with this amazing writing material that comes from Morgan, Abe, and Chris. And those are the 3 main songwriters.
Okay.
They bring the demos to us, and I just lay, you know, maybe a little foundation, a little drums, a little soul, a little rhythm. Yeah. And so we create something together in an energy that is
But
like
it's Fleetwood and Mac that made Buckingham and Nix rose them to that level, because Buckingham Nix was not the solo project that they really wanted it to be.
It almost
Fleetwood
was,
Mac made it all just great, like a whole band chemistry, putting together songs. Everyone chimes in like, here's how we make it great.
And really, Mandala's, as much as some people might say it isn't, it's always been like an equal thing, in my opinion. Like, everybody has the opportunity to step up and like really put something on the table, and it really just depends on who wants to. And so what's funny is, like, with a band, it's like you could have not everybody into it, but you can have a couple people into it, and it still kind of chugs on.
Well, you guys are talking about 5 members. 5 members is a lot of people.
And so like, and so like, if they're not feeling it one day, maybe somebody else is feeling it, and somebody else is feeling it, and you kind of do something, and then like, maybe then they're feeling it the next day, and you're not feeling it, and then they do something, and or like you're feeling it the same day, and you all work together.
That is an
and
advantage, because there's some demos that just die.
There's
some demos that just
kill
die.
them.
Because like,
we're just like, nope.
I'm like, totally. Okay, it's out.
Sorry.
But we get the most work done when we're all just sitting in a room together, and we're just talking about honest decisions, honest songwriting, honest creativity.
Serve the song.
And so basically, just like, you know, we just try to dream big too, and do as best as we can realistically.
Keep that Grammy shelf open,
we're not some fairy tale kids that like, you know, just like had all this shit like just happen. It's just like from the jump, we just really.
That was always like an interesting.
You never made money.
Part.
You never made money the whole time. And you just did it because you
No.
wanted to do it.
Well-
and then one day you started making money, and then you made all these mistakes.
You meet
and
kids.
Then you learned how to do it, but then you make money. So it's like, now it's enticing.
Especially like growing up playing music,
You know?
like you meet kids and it's like they could be the sickest drummer, but they probably have the same set from 15 years ago.
I've had the same drum set since I was a sophomore in high school.
And he's 26, Like, and it's what we've got, and we use it. And then
That's
you
all we
meet,
got.
you know,
Boom, boom.
mommy's boy, and he's got.
He's got a really nice.
He's got a really nice,
really nice
guitar and a really nice. For some reason, entire like stacked cab on wheels for
Yeah.
like this garage that we're about to play right now.
Yeah,
If
we,
I
we
ever-
tell a lot of people nice equipment.
Yeah. Nice gear is one of our favorite
Yeah,
compliments.
nice
you
Nice
can give
gear.
someone. Yeah. Nice gear, bro.
And
You can take
sometimes they're great, and sometimes it's like, I'm so happy you have that really nice guitar.
Really nice stuff.
Nice gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice gear, bro.
Yeah. That stuff should sound nice.
Yeah.
No, but we just try our best is essentially what we're saying. You
That's
know what I
it.
mean? We
Yeah.
just
We're
we
just about the hard work.
We're just
Like,
about hard work and being together.
We are no stranger to like a hard.
What's the worst show you've ever
Situation.
played?
I'm honestly
I
no.
wasn't there.
The
probably.
only
Hey,
oh!
I like that answer.
The only time a show is ever really so bad is if we ourselves maybe don't play that well. There could
Yeah,
be like
sure.
no one
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
room, but if we have a good time,
Yeah, it's the same show.
then
Yeah.
I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like we
But
got
if,
free
like,
practice in
If
tonight.
the snare
Yeah,
head
for-
has broken that night, you're like the whole vibe is off.
Yeah,
We
or
can't-
something weird, like
Or,
the
like,
bass
if-
drum keeps moving or whatever.
It's a hit or a miss normally with a PA, but like if it sucks bad, like it sucks bad, and it's not like an effect. It's like quite honestly a loudness problem.
The operative word is monitors. Is it
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it not?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah.
always has
And that,
And we grew up just playing beer-soaked
House shows.
cables.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it'd be
yeah,
like
you know.
dirty
What's a monitor?
beer-soaked
Yeah,
cables.
Yeah.
So we just do
It'll
stuff
be a
like
PA
that.
like this big,
Yeah. A passport or
And you-
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they'll be like, yeah. But I got this like weird thing that I'm gonna mic the guitars through anyways, just in case. And you're like, okay.
And yeah, like the
Do your
set
thing.
times are
right
going
away,
over.
need your monitor.
Set times are going over, and you drove 4.5 hours to get there.
Play at 1 o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
when it
it's
was
like
supposed to
1
be
o'clock
like
in the morning.
10:30.
You get paid like $47.
Oh, I love when they're like, you know,
This is all we got for you tonight.
this is all we got for you.
Whole-
I know
whole
it's only
$47.
$14,
Yeah.
but just so you know, the house is gonna throw you 20 for gas.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I was like,
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. We had a great time
This
tonight.
was super
Our
fun.
favorite.
there was like
is-
100 people there.
But
like
seriously, about
150
those
people.
drink tickets.
Ridiculous.
Our favorite is we need to have you guys back on a weekend.
Yeah.
And then,
That's our favorite
then
line.
you go like,
That's our favorite
it's
line.
Friday.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
I
You
think
guys-
we-
yeah, we need you here.
We
on
get that a
weekend.
We
lot.
have
Yeah.
to tell them the all-time story though. The all-time story.
Ooh.
It's
I like that they have
dynamic, the double duo cars.
Oh.
I figured that's what you
Yeah.
were gonna say.
So basically, the story is we had a show in Brooklyn. This is like January 3rd,
It had
Wow.
just been
2017,
2017.
probably.
Like that they know the date.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
A
It's,
day that
We
was
don't know.
Because I
Infamy.
had a Subaru, but I wasn't driving it because I was living in New York, and it was like staying in Connecticut, but it also was definitely like crapping out. And I was like, it's cool. Like at the time, Chris had this partner, and I was like, take my car with your equipment, like up to Brooklyn. It'll be fine. I get a call like, hey, Morgan, are you sure everything's all right? Because it's blah, blah, blahing. And I was like, it's totally fine. They like
and we're like in the middle of
Paul-
Brooklyn.
up to where I'm living in Williamsburg, like right next to the Driggs subway station, and the car just dies.
Dies.
Transmission
But they're like 5 minutes
not
from the venue
working.
that we're playing at that
Yeah,
night.
but so we like carry all the equipment or we pack up another car with it or whatever. We
And
leave
I
the
was
dead
driving
car
my
there.
car. I drove my car as well with my shit because I had to like backline some stuff and
Course,
bring some stuff
yeah.
in general and bring another
Drummers.
and
Yeah.
bring like 2 other
Drummers.
members.
But
So
mind
it's-
you, it
Yeah.
was it was the summer after freshman year of college, moving to New York, and I was subletting this apartment in Williamsburg with a bunch of other people I'd met from college. So we were like in our prime of partying.
Yeah.
Like we were all
ton of people
off
there.
our rocker. We had so many
You don't mind lugging
friends.
shit 5
We didn't
blocks?
care.
Yeah.
I didn't
5
even
blocks,
give
what the
a
fuck?
shit.
Yeah, we were like,
Did you leave the
yeah,
car
we just
there?
left
We
it.
left
We
the
just
car
dumped it.
there.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
got
yeah,
the
yeah.
equipment to the
And
show
it was
like a couple
it
blocks
was like
away.
At a fire hydrant
Did
too.
you-
we were just like,
I just
yeah,
left a note like this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this
Sorry.
died and I'm
Yeah.
gonna get it towed, like waiting for the tow truck. Went,
No,
brought all
you
the
can't
equipment,
steal it.
played the show, brought all the equipment back to the car, loaded the car with all the equipment because we knew that we had to get the car towed with the equipment, fit everyone going back to Connecticut in the other car that was still
Wait, was it
alive.
loaded? Or
No.
Oh,
It was
no,
just
it was-
there.
it was there.
It just needed to get towed. So then we're at the apartment. We're
What do you mean it
partying.
needed to get towed.
It needed to get towed to Connecticut.
Oh, the car's dead. I forgot the
Yeah,
car.
yeah,
I forgot the car died.
It needed to
I
go
literally forgot
all the
that
way
detail,
back
yeah.
to Connecticut with all of our equipment in it because we couldn't
So
fit.
now it's the vessel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's just storage
So
space,
we
yeah.
call AAA or whatever, and we go back to my apartment that's across the street, and we're just partying our asses off, waiting for this tow truck to come. Tow truck driver finally pulls up.
Well, mind you, this is a very important detail. Is I'm a AAA Gold Card member.
Oh shit!
There you are.
So
How
250
long,
miles.
For
The
longer
first
than you've been
250
alive,
free.
right?
and I had
For longer
200.
than you've been alive, though, right? I think I've been a Gold Card member since like 1980 something.
Fucking hell, definitely
Yeah.
before.
Well, yeah, mine's
No,
only
it's just my
13.
parents.
But you get like 200 free miles of towing, and to Waterbury from Brooklyn, New York to Waterbury, Connecticut, it was like 181 miles.
Just
You're in
right
the range.
there.
You're in the range.
I was in the
Okay.
range, so it was
Yeah.
all for free.
Yeah.
It was all good.
Technically,
Yeah.
but you had to give the guy like a huge tip or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Maybe.
No one wanted to do this job. No one wanted.
What time is it? What time?
It's 2:00 in
Yeah.
the morning.
So this,
'cause we
this is
waited
2 o'clock in
until
the morning,
after the show.
and so they're calling all these independent truck people going in Long
Do you want to
Island.
go drive?
Yeah.
to Connecticut. No, I don't.
Dumbass kids. And they were like, no, we don't. And meanwhile, again, it's January 3rd
Yeah.
in
It's
New
brick.
York. It is
It's freezing.
brick.
Yeah.
But we don't give a hell. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. We're all just chilling.
Tow truck guy comes.
Character.
Yeah, of
Character,
course.
to say the
He's
least.
the guy who answered. He's the guy who. He's the guy who
they
said
they
yes.
called.
He said
The lady
yes.
called me back and she goes, "We called all 5 boroughs and nobody wants to do this."
This is the one day.
I swear to God, and
Oh.
and then she calls me back. She goes, "Some guy from Brooklyn's coming. He's coming your way." So then he shows up and he's like, he was just kind of like young guy, but like he was a truck driver.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
probably
yeah.
like mid to late 20s,
Yeah.
short little spitfire of a Hispanic dude,
Nice.
and he's like,
Hustling.
he's like on us. He's like
Yeah.
yelling at us because we can't get the car on the hook,
Yeah.
like to tow it up. He's like, why is it so heavy? Because we've got all this equipment in there. He's like, who's coming with me? Because someone's got to ride with me back to Connecticut. And he's like, gotta stop at my house first and get some weed.
Yeah. He was like, "We gotta stop at my house, get some weed."
Yeah.
He was like,
He's
"This is
like,
some bullshit." Yeah. And so
He's going 180
and so we
miles.
were
He's
like,
going 180.
none of us are coming with you. Everybody's coming in my car.
Yeah.
And like Morgan's staying in
I'm
New
staying
York.
in New York 'cause that's where I
Morgan
live.
wasn't even there. So
I'm
now
like,
it gets
yeah.
transitioned
Oh,
to
man.
me.
Yeah. So
And
this is
so,
your problem.
so now this is my problem now. So I have our guitar
Gold card
player.
member, yeah.
I have our guitar player, his girlfriend, our bass player, myself, and all of our bullshit, and then all of the other bullshit in an entire car, like filled to the
On a
brim,
tow
and
truck?
on a tow truck bed. So it's a tow
On a
truck
bed?
on the top,
bed.
not
Yeah.
like this.
They-
I guess
not like
180
this.
miles. Yeah.
They flatbedded
Yeah,
it.
They
yeah.
flatbedded it.
Yeah.
It's probably smarter that way.
Yeah.
180
Exactly.
miles. Yeah.
So
You- The Viper showed up, so he's got the
Yeah.
flatbed. Yeah.
So basically, but he chains it up, and he's like, "I gotta stop at my place for weed, but I'll meet you there," basically.
Yeah.
And it was basically kind of like, "All right, let's do
I
this
trust you.
shit."
Yeah.
And it was snowing, dead of winter.
It
like,
was.
It was like
January
one of
3rd
those
in New
brick
York.
nights.
Yeah.
And so we're driving, and we're like, "All right, like, got the insurance. It's all good in the hood.
They
We'll figure
get
this
all
out."
the
We
way
made money
to
from
the-
the show
to
like that
home.
night.
Yeah.
Good.
Show went well, right? Show went well.
Like,
Okay,
it was a killer night.
Yeah.
So we're driving, we're like
Yeah.
75% of the way there. Everybody's snug and tight. Fucking music's playing, all good in the hood. 85% of the way there. And the GPS is getting weird. And like you get off in this exit and we're like, "Oh, we know where we are actually. We're in
Yeah.
like Southampton, but we got to go basically up one whole town for Cheshire where I'm from.
Telling
and
you
then-
a weird exit.
And then
yeah.
go west towards Waterbury. That's all we got to do when
Okay.
we're there.
Sure.
But what I realized is right before we get off on the exit towards Hamden on the highway, my headlights are dimming. But very, very, very slowly.
Yeah.
So your alternative is just
And and so I'm like, getting a bit dark on the highway.
He's like looking
For
behind him.
this winter
Everyone,
night on
mostly,
for my 1998 Honda
mostly
Accord.
everyone in the car is asleep.
Yeah, everybody's
And
like
he's
asleep
like-
too,
Yeah.
like hot air blasting, like.
I'm just gonna hope this works out.
Yeah.
He's
So-
like, I'm not
You
even
can
gonna
tell
say
when you-
anything
And
to
when
them.
you start not seeing the snow
And I'm
anymore,
telling you,
you're
it
like,
had been
oh.
such a night already with like stress and bullshit.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah,
been
yeah.
waiting around, and we're finally there, and we had been driven like an hour and a half all the way. And then, like,
It's like
I
4 o'clock in the
started
morning.
seeing
Yeah.
red flags, but I was like,
Ignore.
I'm gonna ignore
Get
these
the
red
keep
flags. sort of
going.
Like, keep going. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make it.
If you stop,
What else
you'll
are you
die.
going to fucking do?
So then we're
Let
on
it
the,
guide. Let it happen.
So then
Let it
we're
happen.
like, we get off on the exit, and I'm like, might need the high beams. So we hit the high beams. High beams start dimming.
Yeah.
We get into Cheshire though, and we make it like pretty far.
90%.
Like 90% of the
Both
way there.
ways.
And we gotta
Oh.
go like start going up into the hills of Waterbury, and then like
It's the biggest hill.
and then like
It's the biggest hill
and
on
then
the
like
drive.
go up left. And so at this point, it stops going from warm and it starts going to cold in the car. And I am like, and everybody again is still asleep, and I'm just like getting colder in the car, and I realize the lights are going out, and so we have to make it up this absolutely enormous hill, and so I'm like, this is it. We have to make it up this hill, basically.
Yeah.
And so I just like am like, all right, everybody wake up, and I just fucking hit the gas, fucking rip the shit, and then just literally put my foot all the way to the floor, and the car got a little momentum, like down speed into this bank, and we just started going
Roller coaster.
No way.
and we're going up this hill, we're going, and we're still going, and it's going
Yeah. Oh, God.
like and it starts slowing down up this hill.
Oh.
And everybody's like, what's going on? And I'm like, jump out of the car and start pushing the car. So they jump out of the car, moving while it's going, and they start getting from behind it, and my foot is on the floor, and it's like,
No.
I would have said, "Are you fucking serious right now?" And he would have been like,
and
"Get out of
it
the
just
car!"
dies, and it dies with like a spot where it's like uphill, pitch black, not a single street light. All of us, miles from home still.
Yeah.
Short, we're pretty close to our bass player's house actually. No kidding.
All right.
And but we have to call the tow guy now.
Yeah.
Who's like still
Supposed to be meeting us in Waterbury.
in a whole other town over.
Oh, right, the first guy. Yeah.
With
you gotta
the
call
other
first guy.
car
Yeah,
that's
the other
broken
car.
down.
Yeah.
And so we basically call this guy, and we're like,
So guess
You're
what?
not gonna believe
and
this.
I basically get on the phone with the guy, and I'm like, listen, man, you're not gonna believe this, but like, the car broke down, and I was like, but don't worry though, like we're calling. Our guitar player's like calling his like sister who's gonna pick us up. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning now. 3:30 in the morning, and so he's calling his sister, and we're basically like, and blah blah blah. And he's like, we think we're gonna get him. We think we're gonna get somebody to come pick us up. He's like, what do you mean you think?
Yeah.
He's like, he thinks we're playing him for money now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit.
He
Like, what's
thinks-
this? And the guy
yeah.
went 3, and he was freaking out on me. Over
Oh, we
the
don't
phone.
play.
And yeah, homie was like, what do you mean you think? Like, he was like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you? Where are you?
I'm
And we didn't even
coming
know
to get that car too.
Yeah. And so a homeboy shows up like 15 minutes later,
Wait,
reverses
that guy
it.
came and got
Yeah,
Yes.
That's good. No, that's what you want. I mean, like, what other fucking tow truck is gonna head out
Dude,
there?
homeboy reversed it down this like insane hill, like K-turned into somebody's like almost K-turned into somebody's mailbox, but they turned into their driveway and then like latched onto my car, and he basically had the car on her car on the bed,
And then he was
but
towing
then he
yours.
towed me on the back.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes. But then he was so pissed, and dude, when I tell you it was bone cold, I didn't have gloves or nothing. I didn't think I was gonna be fucking.
Yeah, you didn't think this was gonna happen. Yeah.
And dude, he was so pissed. He was like, he told all the guys, he was like, everybody get the fuck out of the car. He was like, you guys are chaining this with me, basically.
Yeah.
And so
And
we.
he was like, "You can
chained-
stay in the car," to Chris's girlfriend at the time.
And so he like made us all like shackle the chains like with the car, and he was so pissed. He was rip roaring. He was like, "What the fuck happened?" And like all this shit,
Yeah.
dogging us.
No, dude.
Yeah.
Dogging us, and we were like so bummed, and yeah, it was just so bad. And then there was a church that I was like, dude, there's a church right up here. I was like, just pull it up here and dump it up there.
Leave that.
Leave my car.
Yeah, we'll
get it.
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll
we're
figure
close
that out.
enough.
Yeah. So he literally just towed it right up the hill. We dumped it in this church parking lot, and then Chris's sister shows up and picks up Chris's girlfriend and Chris. and drives them home. It's just me and the bass player, Matt, now, stuck with the tow guy. And so...
Going to my house in Waterbury with my car and all the equipment.
But they're actually, instead of Chris going home, they're going to meet us at
need
Morgan's
the
house 'cause
equipment.
We have the equipment in the car still. And so the tow truck guys basically, you guys have to come with me. Blah, blah, blah. We're like, okay, let's do it. And then we get in the car with him, me and my boy, and he's just like, you guys got any weed? Yeah, we do. And so we smoked a joint with the tow truck guy.
In the tow truck?
On the highway, on the way to Waterbury, like one town over.
Oh, fantastic.
Good. I'm glad you getting it on good
It was
terms.
like one of these war stories where you had just been through
Yeah.
so much shit and you're still going through the shit with the guy, and like you're just on the highway and you're just like this is crazy.
I think you said I was just around the corner, but you said it's about dedication. What'd you say about that?
Yeah, he said being in a band's about dedication.
Is that right?
Well, we were
Yeah,
we were pretty spooked from there on because we had to fix the cars after that,
Yeah.
and it was like, God, we can't even make to Brooklyn without the cars breaking down like 2 hours.
We have terrible car luck. Like, that
Yeah.
is not the
We've never-
first, and
nobody's
it will
ever had
not
a
be
nice
the
car.
last probably time.
No, bands, I mean, when we get on the road, whatever tour van, it's going to have some core.
But we've never even
We
had
had like a
van.
show one time where I was staying in Philly with my partner and her family was away, and we were like the babysitters for the children while they took an adult vacation, and we stayed and were babysitting. I was like, yo, I've got the show in New Jersey. Your mom's going to let me take her car to the show. It's only like, an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'll come back to Philly tonight. I go, I park the car on the fucking street like a normal human being, play a killer set, say bye to all these people. We're about to move to California in a couple weeks. I'm walking down the street. I see the lights. I start running because something in my body goes, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
The car is totaled, smashed to pieces
just, like,
because a freaking driver was like evading someone, whatever, smashed right into the back of the car and then pushed the car into a tree that was right there on the fucking side of the
We
road.
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
We had nothing to do with it. Thank God I wasn't like in the car about
Yeah,
to
you're in
leave,
New
like
Brunswick,
smoking
New
weed or
Jersey.
whatever. Yeah. And so I'm like
Shawn, New
screaming,
Brunswick.
crying. I like don't know what to do. I'm like, hold on, like I need to get things from the car because I was babysitting. So I'm crying and screaming now with booster seats in my arms. Like I had to get them out of the
God.
car.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
not your fucking car.
so I'm calling my girlfriend's mom who's on
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
Hey, crying.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I'm okay, but your car is fucking totaled. I know
Yeah.
you just paid it off and we were literally celebrating, but I ruined it by accident. And then it took
somewhat
me
ruined
like
it.
an hour and a half to finally, because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning at this point in New Brunswick, New Jersey, in the middle of nowhere.
Like, this is number 2 out of,
And I'm like,
15.
this is just like last year, a year and a half ago now, 2 years ago. And I'm like trying to get an Uber that's hundreds of dollars back to Philadelphia because they were all going to Connecticut. And I was like, I can't go to Connecticut. I'm in Philadelphia right now. Like, that's where I am.
Yeah.
So finally, I get an Uber that accepts me. I fall asleep. There's a rainstorm. Like 4 hours later, I'm still in this Uber. I wake up in
You're in
this
Washington, D.C.
Uber on the highway, and I have like a bunch of texts from my partner, and she's like, "Are you okay? Like, I'm following this, and it looks like he like pulled over and stopped, and now you're like going the wrong way." And I go,
boy.
honestly, like I'm fine, but I think it got too rainy for him to drive, and I was so asleep that he like
Just
didn't
stopped,
know
yeah.
what to do that he
Yeah.
just pulled over until it was safe to drive again with
Yeah.
me like sleeping in his back seat because he couldn't get me up. And then
mean, that's
finally
like-
we got to the,
If that's not a 5-star review, I don't know
well
what that is.
then
Yeah.
we pulled up to the house and I was like, thank you so much, and he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, have a great night. And then I went inside and it was totally fine.
5 stars.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
5 stars.
Yeah.
I think our last number 3 best story is when we were touring in Philadelphia, and we got invited to like a party after, after the show we played. It was a great show, and we love Philly. We do really well there, and
It's a rock and roll town. I can
Yeah.
answer that. I'm listening from the P1.
and but basically we got invited to a party, and they were the only building on the entire block that had rooftop access. but it was like
Nice.
really tall ceilings in Philly, and basically they had to like put like a table down, and then they had to put like a chair on the table, and then they put like a bunk
Dining room
ladder,
table. Dining room chair. Bunk bed ladder on dining room chair on dining room table.
That connected to the
Roof.
hole.
It was just a
Hole,
rectangular.
just a hole in the roof or a hole in the
latch.
ceiling.
So he says it's the only building that had roof.
The only building. It was
So
like
then
a
when you
whole
got to the
block,
roof, you
but
had
they were
10
all
buildings
over
that you could walk on.
Oh, cool.
But they were the only like apartment that had a roof latch
And
to
it was
get
in-
up there.
It was in North Philly.
Because they don't really have
and
fire
you could see
escapes.
like you could see the whole skyline. It was like fucking beautiful and they brought like 15 people up there. There was like tons.
Just on everyone's roofs.
Everybody was up
Like,
there.
they
Like,
did
everybody
not
helped
care.
each other up there, and then we were all up there like taking pictures, just having a good time, living life after the show, partying and shit. Everybody's-
No, everyone in the entire house is up there except for one person in our group. I think it was Matt.
Well, hold on. Yeah.
Like everyone in the house is on the roof.
But basically what happened is we all were taking pictures, blah, blah, blah. And then basically we're like, all right, let's go down now. And Morgan's like, oh, I'll go first. And I was
Why
like,
not?
Morgan, that's fine if you want to go first, but, you know, you're a little bit shorter. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, I might be able to reach the ladder, like, down there. Just stabilize it for everybody, and we'll be okay. I'll take the hit or whatever. And she was like, no. I got it. I'll try to go down there. And so basically somebody had, like, spilled a beer
On the table.
And so Morgan put her foot down on this ladder that was on
And
this
everything
chair that
went
was on this table.
Jenga.
And everything just kind of fell underneath itself. And she, like, I don't know how that happened. I think you were-
Sean was looking down at me,
hold
and
on.
I was
She was dangling, like,
from the roof
like
latch.
8 feet, like, from this roof latch. And, like, if
Sean
she
just
fell,
goes-
she would have landed on this table and, like, broke her fucking back.
Sean just goes and like grabs my arms and like pulls me to safety.
I like clawed her, like
Yes.
you know how like when like a refrigerator falls on like some guy's wife, you know what I mean? And the dad's like, oh my god, lifts an entire tank up or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's the model.
It was like
lifting
one
the
of
car
those
up,
weird
yeah.
things where it was like, oh my god, Morgan,
Tunnel
just grab
vision,
her,
dude. Yeah.
It was so crazy.
I literally
By the
just,
arms,
like,
right?
No, it's
Yes.
just like literally one of those things where and I'm not like a big guy or anything, but I literally was just like, and then
This
just
has to
dropped
happen
her.
now.
And so
Yeah.
now all 15 people at the party on the roof are stuck. And
Kinda.
Yeah.
and like nobody at the time we didn't know anybody was around, and we were like, oh my god,
Like
like
we're
we're gonna
stuck.
have to jump through this hole and break this table and like all this
Yeah,
shit.
can someone put a
So
pillow
like
down
and
there?
like and I'm telling you, this is like another story where it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's gonna come save us, and but basically we were like, oh my god, and so we looked down off the roof to like see if anybody was on the street, and our bass player at the time, Matt, was necking with a female individual on the steps of the apartment.
Come
And then we
And we
all
were like, we
leaned
need
up,
help.
"Wait, Matt, fucking come up here!" And, like literally saved the entire party from being stuck on this roof for probably another 12
whole
hours.
night, yeah.
Like,
I think that's a Friends episode, actually.
yeah. So like I said, we've had some dumb stuff.
Hey,
like
that's what
that.
you live
Yeah.
for. Those are the war stories.
Okay, wrap up questions. Ready?
Sure,
Wrap up
sure.
questions. This is for both of you individually. It's the Desert Island album. Desert Island album. You have
Okay.
one. You only have one.
Don't think about it too
Oh,
hard.
only
Yeah.
one. Okay.
You only have one. Desert Island
Don't think
album.
about it too
but it's
hard.
like the album.
Yeah.
You go first.
It is gonna be. Oh fuck! It's probably gonna be this. This is a cop out. It's gonna be a record by this band called Pine Grove that I really
I know
love.
Pine Grove.
I
Yeah.
love Pine Grove.
Good band.
How is that a cop out if it's like
It's
something near and
it's
dear to
this.
you?
It's a record they put out called Everything So Far. It's about 30 songs.
Ah.
Because it was post their first album doing well, in
Economical.
between a second and third Becoming. So they just
Okay.
put out all their music they had on one CD and like toured it around.
Cool.
So it would be
Alright.
that.
Good move. Good
And if
move.
not, it'd be the new Mount Joy record because I really like that.
I don't know it.
Orange Blood.
Mine is gonna be Stadium Arcadium by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Double
album.
Yeah,
these guys are economic. We said Desert Island, guys.
It's like
We did
36
say
songs. Like,
that.
you know what I mean? Like, I need my variety. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of like some really hype shit if I need to make a fire. You know what I mean? There's some really like chill shit if I'm like sitting by the fire. Like again, I'm at a desert island. There's not much to do besides sit by the fire. So
I love that.
And that was like you were like, oh, just don't make it hard. Like the first thing that comes to your mind, like that record to me is so inspiring because like just the way that it's produced, like Chad Smith's just snare drum tone on that stuff, like just like the feel of it.
No, they got it right.
You feel like you're in the room with the drums.
Yeah,
and
there's just like there's just spirits on that record, man. You know, where just emotionally, like it could take you to a place where there's different dimensions. You know what I mean? Where you're
it covers a lot of ground too.
Truly though, like
double record.
Yeah. For me, like when I listen to that record, like I you know how like people when they listen to music they get chills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like for me that's like a constant chill. It's like I'm like God, I'm feeling like possessed right now. Like I used to try to do like homework and stuff, or I used to try to do my job when I'm listening to Chili Peppers. I've like had to make a rule that I can't listen to the Chili Peppers when I'm trying to do anything important with my life because
do not operate heavy machinery.
I'm like because like you just put it on and I'm just like. Fucking start losing my mind, and like it makes me fall in love with music. So that record would keep me going forever, kind of like if I was stuck in there.
I mean,
I do like the quantity over quality answers in both of these. Yeah,
I mean.
But when it's quality of quantity.
You know, well, you gotta have both.
It's a no-brainer.
I mean,
I'm not saying discount quality.
We were making fun of that choice.
I said Abbey Road's my answer. Yeah,
dude, I don't
Abbey
remember
Road's
mine
40 minutes,
but it has also little bits of different songs. So then you have.
I do feel like I
but
should
like
change
hearing
mine
this,
to like,
I might have to switch to like the White Album or something.
I mean,
that's it. Okay, now
50 licks.
I think we've already closed the episode. So now, what song do you want to play at the end of this episode? It could be your own. It could be.
We're gonna get copyright flagged either way. So
not with our song.
Well, we'll find out.
Not with ours, yeah.
We'll find out.
What do you want to do?
Doesn't matter. Better now.
I'm better now that you're not around. I wanna be someone that you sing about. I'm better now, just open up your heartstrings. You put it on me backwards. Better now that you're not around. I wanna be someone that you care about. I'm better now, just open up your heartstrings. You put it on me backwards. I'm better now that you're not around. I wanna be someone that you sing about. I'm better now, just open up your heartstrings. You pull it on me backwards. Better now that you're not around. I wanna be someone that you care about. I'm better now, just open up your heartstrings. You pull it on me backwards. They say I'm better now that you're not around. I wanna be someone that you sing about. I'm better now, just open up your heartstrings. You're pulling on me backwards, better now that you're not around. I